up, YouTube? We are back with another video. Oh my gosh, we're gonna be talking about the Real Housewives of Potomac. Now, this is the first time on my channel that I covered this franchise, and let me tell you, I am highly entertained. So I'm gonna do the first episode, then the second episode, then we'll do tonight's. Okay, just to get caught up. So I'm gonna try to review that. I'm gonna review this every single week. Okay. Now, I really want to say episode one, we get into Candace. She got a new house, Ashley on her mommy duties. And you see Ashley, she did not have her father. So they did like a little flashback on that. And that kind of made me tear up because I'm really loving Ashley. You see Candace, you see Giselle. In the first episode, she visits Candace's house. And Candace is a bonus mom, and that's good. They didn't use the word stepmom. I love the term bonus mom than saying stepmom. So I'm kind of like, okay, that really made me feel good to hear that. So then it gets up in here that she's working on her masters. And I'm like, come on, being a bonus mom, working on your masters. That's really good. So I was like, okay, that's good. Then we get to now y'all bear with me. I got my nose child. I got my notes. Okay. Then of course we get to Karen, and I'm like, oh my gosh, what happened? This woman's face looked like a deserted muffin. And then her husband, I didn't know. I thought that her husband was her granddad. I thought that was like her granddaddy or her father. You know what I'm saying? I didn't know that was her husband. I'm like, oh my God, y'all married old. So they must got the money. So anyway, she was saying that for her daughter, she was gonna put a piece of her wedding dress and put it on her daughter's, put it on, on her daughter's gown, a piece of her wedding gown. She's not gonna give her daughter the full gown. So I was like, okay, they was in there talking and they've been married for 25 years. But I'm like, her husband age really have aged, and she aged too. She looked deserted with her face, so that really was something. um I'm just saying. So then it gets to, I really want to see what was the other portion that I get to this, y'all bear with me. um and then I get to this part with Karen and Giselle. They was friends for a decade. And so, anytime when you're on these reality shows, friendships break up. People can be friends. You could be friends for 10 years, and then you can immediately just really break up in your friendship. Because once the camera started playing, once this person started being a fave and you start getting this publicity, your friendship don't really last on these reality shows. Once you're on there, eventually you're going to break up. Eventually, the producer's going to be throwing a bone and giving you messages, go back and forth. So I'm not shocked that Giselle and Karen is not friends anymore. Um and of course, Giselle, her ex-husband, Pastor Jamal Bryant, and that just was a disaster all the way over because that man can't keep his peen under subjection. He have cheated on her multiple times. So you know how that's gonna go. He not gonna be the husband that she wanted him to be. She just need to give that on up. But we get to Wendy. She visits her plastic surgery. She gets her boobs done. And I'm like, Wendy, you don't need that. But she got her boobs done. I'm like, okay. She got her boobs done. And then she lied to the producer. He said, well, did you get anything else done? No, but clearly you got your butt done. So why would you lie like that? Anyhow, and I'm like, these women, when you got money, you just get all your body all deserted. I'm like, I like my woman natural with no butt implants, no breast implants. But her husband, which he looks really delicious, by the way, assists her in there. And so she's able to drive, she's able to have sex. The doctor says healing up good. So I did get this is episode one I'm on. Then Robin and who was that? Damn, I can't read my notes. Okay, Robin, she's Robin. Oh my gosh. Let's be clear with here. And it's so sad. She's one of the saddest, pathetic characters that I could just see in the show. She would never get married. And she was building a home, and she got two sons. And they kept asking when is the wedding, and then and then the kids eating nothing but Chick-fil-A. Then the husband was saying, "Why do you sleep all day? I don't like that. That's sad." And I'm like, he was just dragging his girl baby mama in the juice place. And she just said, "Well, it's the pandemic. I'm tired. I'm sleepy. It's just the pandemic. I don't know if I'm coming or going. It's the pandemic." And then she was like, "Well, I want to have more. He want to have a girl. He want to have a girl." And she was like, "Yeah, we need to have more kids because my biological clock is turning out." And I'm like, "You too sleepy. You ain't gonna have time for no kids because you don't like to get up. When you got kids." This is why I'm so glad I don't have kids. Let me say this, because I don't like to get up in the morning like that. If I'm up, I'm up, but like getting up every single morning, and when you have kids, especially school age kids, period, you have to get up in the morning because they got to get up for school. You got to bathe them, you got to fix them breakfast, especially if you have, you know, kids, even if they're not babies, you still got to make sure they're good and taking a bath and taking care of themselves. So I'm seeing all this stuff. So he was just really just dragging Robin. So then we get to where we at right here. Okay. Then they get to this event because I think Wendy, she was having this party showing people, her boobs at this big event. So all of them pretty much showing up. The only person that did not show up was Candace, because Candace, got a problem with Karen. They don't get along. And so Candace said that she had some diarrhea. Okay. Uh, she got some diarrhea problem. So she didn't show up. And so they up there eating, the crab soup, and then Giselle and Karen get into it, and Karen said, "Giselle, you got a hot box, your box is hot," as saying that she have an STI, and I'm like, "Oh, that was funny." And then she go to Sing Sing, it was a Sing Sing. So when I was on exclusively on All About the Tea, they was like, she was in a mental health, she had a mental breakdown. So that's what Karen was, getting towards with that. You was over there. And they was talking about the firebox. She said, "I don't have a firebox, my WAP box. I don't have a dry box." And then he was like, then Karen told Giselle, "Your man stick his ding dong and everybody puss." Uh, and then Giselle told Karen, "Well, at least his ding dong work, because allegedly Karen's husband ding dong don't work, and Grandpa probably can't get it up no more." So I'm trying to tell you, women, y'all want to marry these older men because they got the bag, they got the wallet, but just know, if your appetite is, you got that WAP, and you want a good strong peen to come up in there, you got to be careful dating these people in their 60s and their 70s, because the peen don't work like it used to. I'm just saying. So they were just going back and forth. And then Maya, she's new on here. So she was like, "Giselle, it seems like you got a good spirit." I'm like, "Maya, how you saying Giselle got a good spirit, and you supposed to be friends with Karen? You supposed to be the Karen friend, but now you up there singing praises to you supposed to be singing praises to Giselle." Okay. I felt like that was real fake. So I guess the reason why Maya did it, she's just really trying to find her way in this show. So that's why she's doing all that. So that was pretty much is like that pretty much sums up episode 1. Then we get to episode 2. Y'all bear with me. I took a lot of notes. It'll be better next week. So then he goes episode 2. Maya is Karen, Karen friend and all that. I told y'all about that. So then it was talking about the hot box and Sensei. They was still at this at Wendy's event. And then Karen said, "You the first lady from hell," told that to Giselle. And I'm like, "Oh my God, this is such a disaster just to see them going back and forth like that." Then then they were saying that Giselle wished death on Karen's husband. But I'm like, he looking like he's gonna be going. You know what I'm saying? He's up in age. That man can't move around like that. And then I think in the first episode, Karen was trying to sit on her husband's lap. And I'm like, "Don't sit on that man. Them his bones is weak." But anyhow, all that was going on. And then Whitney, she was showing off her body, and she was showing off her butt. She showed the people that she got her butt done and stuff like that. I'm like, come on, come on. They actually asked Karen, what is so wait a minute. So I want to say this. I don't know if this was the episode 2, but Maya, she was like, I got this done, I got my click done, I got my boobs done, I got my face done, I got my lips done. I'm like, God, Lee, you fake all the way. Like, why are you getting all this stuff and you marry somebody 30, 40 some years older than you? Why you gotta get all that stuff done? Then it's like, and then she got the audacity. See, this is the thing I don't like about Maya. Even though I like you, Maya, but I don't like you. I don't like that you be lying about your age. If you in your mid 40s, just admit that you in your mid 40s. But don't be getting out there, oh, he's 30 years older than me. He's 30 years older. And they was like, oh, if he's 30 years older than you, that means you're 30 years old. Oh, no, I'm 30. I'm 36. I'm 36. And then she said another time, um, I check my ID. I'm 36. How you gotta check your ID about your age from when? Why are you lying about your age? I need to see your birth certificate. I really do need to see your. You ain't got to lie about your age. Just be honest. If you in your 40, my grandmother used to tell me, if you're not old, if you're not getting old, you're dead. So it's a privilege to get old. It's a blessing to get old. If you at a certain age, just say it. I don't understand why some women don't like to say their age. Oh, women don't like to. Girl, say it. Tell me how old you are. You got up there and talk about your man is 30 some years older than you. Well, actually, he's 32 years older than you. If you still, you don't look like you in your 30s. I'm just saying, you don't look like you in your 30s. And you supposed to have a business, all these multiple chiropractor business, for the, with the crack of your back and your neck and all that. Y'all got all these businesses and you can't count. I'm just saying. Anyway, so of course, I don't know if this episode 2, because these know. Okay, here we go. And then what was really, 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 really something that I really want to get into is Candace. Is she's shooting a pilot for a show. I don't know why people be talking about these pilots for a show, because it might not come out, but they was showing that. He said, oh my gosh, I'm playing a stepmom, and this is something that's, this is some, it mimics my life. And then her husband's not working because I think his restaurant's flopped, so he's gonna manage her. And I'm like, okay, honey, we gonna see how that's gonna work out. If your man restaurants flopped and can't keep no job, so he's gonna manage your career. Typically, when the spouse manage the wife career, it ends up bad. It don't actually ends up good all the way. It's not too many people that spouse manage them and it ends up well. So if you want to mix business with pleasure, you better ask Kevin Hunter and Wendy Williams how that worked out, because that ended up disastrous. I do not suggest a married couple have their man manage their career, their husband manage their career. Let him have his life and you have your life in your own separate management team. That's one thing about Oprah and Gayle that I like. Stedman got his life. Oprah got her life. That just like Stedman said, oh, Oprah, I'm about to manage your life. It's going to end up disaster. Somebody going to get jealous. Somebody going to be stealing. It's going to end up disaster. That's all I got to say about that. So then Ashley said, she said she was spending time with her mom. And Michael, she was talking about the sex drive and that it's uncomfortable having sex. And I'm like, that's the thing. When you have babies and your man is a hoe, he's going to cheat on you. Unfortunately, I'm not trying to throw shade, but if you, I'm sorry, if you pregnant and your man have already cheated on you before in the previous season, what do you think he's going to do when you're pregnant and can't move around? He's going to go around to someone that can set aside his needs. I'm just going to be real with you. I know that's sad to say, even though I like Ashley, but she's messy as fuck, but she's beautiful. She is so beautiful. Beautiful. It's just something about her. Like, that man should just be pleading with her, like, satisfy her, whatever it needs to be doing, fingering her, whatever. Anyway, but I'm hearing that he's a cheater. So, oh, that was going on. And it was like, and this is a ninja, Giselle talking about, I got the West Wing. Now, this is something, when I saw her house, I was just like, honey, that don't look like a West Wing. I'm thinking that we about to see something like the White House with the West Wing added on. That don't look like a West Wing. That look like a whole nother house added on to your house. That's what it looked like. It looked like an oversized garage. That's what it looked like. Honestly, when I saw it and I'm like, oh, this is what they were talking about. Yeah, and I said, okay, look like an oversized garage. That don't look like a West Wing. But she got all the, closet space and all this. And I'm like, okay. I think that was Giselle. And who went to visit her? Okay, who had went to visit her? I forgot who visited her. Oh, Robin went to go visit her. Was it Robin visit her? And they was eating cupcakes and they were having a conversation. I think because I don't know all the names yet. I'm new to this, y'all. And then Karen was fixing the bed, and Karen wanted to throw a love party, and get the girls over for a love party, pretty much for the couples. Definitely wanted to couples. And then here we go. Wendy had her family over and go over there today. She's Nigerian. That woman have said she's Nigerian. If one thing that I learned about Wendy, she's a professional. She got her boobs done, she got her ass done, and she's a Nigerian. Then her mother said, "Oh kids, I want you all to get my boobs done. I want you all to pay for it." I'm like, Mama, you got some big breasts. You don't need to get your boobs done. I looked at that rack and I looked like, really, sis, really? You gonna get up on here at your age now? You want to get that's what I'm saying. That plastic surgery stuff, if you're not careful, it's very addictive and it's a spirit. I'm telling you, and that spirit leaps, and it leaped on the mom, and the mom was like, and y'all gonna pay for it. So they was eating all the spicy food and just eating all that stuff. So the mama want her boobs done. I'm like, okay, mama. Okay. Here we go. Then Ashley, I was just looking at Ashley and I'm like, oh my gosh, Ashley is just everything. I love like her, like where she eat. I just love her. I just love her. I just really, really love her. I do. And then we got to get at Candace and Karen. They of course they got a history. Told you about that. But then Giselle says she's not coming. I think did Robin show up? No, Robin did not show up to the event that Karen wanted for the event for the couples. So the couples they show up. You know, all the couples show up. Maya and her husband, Wendy and her husband. Who else? Karen and her husband was there, and the couples like they all there, and they having this couples thing. And then this is the thing I want to say when they talked about that, they was like they did this is my favorite part of the couples when they did the questions, they did a game. And I was like, okay, here we go. And Candace was like, on top. They like to be freaky on top. But then Wendy, they like anal sex. They like doggy style sex. So they like anal sex. So who had somebody, one of them had found each other, like met at the strip club. Then another couple they had smashed and the Waffle House. And if you gotta be a nasty couple if you have sex in a Waffle House. The Waffle House is one of the nastiest public restrooms in the country. I've been in one of the Waffle House restaurant. It is nasty and filthy and pissy. Like I don't know if they did it in the women's restaurant or the men's. I know for a fact in the men's restaurant, it's pissy everywhere, piss all everywhere. So if you put your butt cheeks and your vagina and all that, you gonna wind up leaving there with a hot box. I'm just gonna be something like whoever said that. I'm like, really? I would have kept that to myself. And then Maya, she was like, well, we met at the strip club. I was a bartender. Yeah, I was a bartender. And I'm like, honey, you was a stripper. Just be honest. But anyway, that all went on. And then it was like, well, name somebody y'all want to screw in the circle. Who do y'all want to screw in the circle? I was looking at Wendy and her husband because they're the more attractive couple. Honestly, they're the more attractive couple. And I was trying to see who was Wendy's husband was going to pick. And he was like, oh, and a non applicable, and then what did Wendy say? She said NA or no or whatever she said. It was sad. I'm like, Wendy husband, no, he was smashed Ashley, period, point blank. Once she dropped that baby, I know for a fact that Wendy husband allegedly will smash Ashley, and he probably will smash Maya, and he probably will smash Giselle. Let's be clear with that. Wendy, he already knew that he can't get up on there. I'm just saying he can't get up on there and be honest. Let's be clear. Okay? I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Let me move on. So that pretty much, sums up that episode 2. Now we on tonight's episode, okay? Okay, Robin, I really, Lord, please word my mouth with this. Robin was in the bed asleep. Now, already, Robin, you got dragged the last episode because you sleep too much. You about to lose your husband because you sleeping too much. So she in the bed, the alarm clock going off, knowing that her kids got homeschooling. Now, I was on Twitter and I understand what people saying. Why didn't the husband just wake up the kids? Listen, it's a partnership. He's trying to make sure his wife get up in the morning and stop just sleeping the day away. That's unattractive. So she could have easily got up and got up early to get her kids up, and they getting up late. Oh, it's time to get up for school. Then the other child, he was there late. Oh, that's not her husband. Oh, wait a minute, that's not her husband. Let's call up. Wait a minute, that's not her husband. That's the baby daddy. That ain't gonna never marry her because she sleep too much. You know what? You right. How to do it? That ain't the husband. That's the baby daddy. That's the baby daddy. That ain't gonna marry her because she sleeps so much. If I have to give her a nickname, I'm gonna call her Sister Sleepy because she gonna sleep anyway. So she get one of the sons up. They get up. Other son, the teacher told him, this is like a job. You got to be on time. So he was late. I'm like, how in the world can you be late doing homeschool? Wait a minute. How in the world can you be late doing homeschool? Give me hold up 1 second. How in the world can you be late and you are doing homeschool? That is the most pathetic thing ever. Only thing you got to do is get on the computer. Now, Robin, I put this tweet out. I said, sister girl need to see a therapist. She's depressed. She's sad that her man that she gave 2 children, birthed these children for, do not want to marry her. She's losing him. And she need a therapist. She need to go to counseling and go to a psychiatrist because she is suffering from depression. She is suffering. She's done. She's tapping out. She don't want to be a mom. She just want to just sleep. She need a therapist because a lot of things that's going on. She need to be sitting right there, and somebody need to have on their glasses, and they need to have they writing book, and they said, Robin, how do you feel? What's going on? So why do you sleep all day? Why do you sleep all day? Do you want to have an internal sleep? Do you like being up? Why do you like to be in the dark with the cover over your head? Do you want to be a mom? Can you talk about your childhood? Did your mom sleep all during the day? So she needs to talk about her issues. That's what I'm saying. Anyway, but even though her baby daddy and that the father could have got up and got the kids up, he's being kind of petty, and they both need to go to counseling. And they just need, I don't think it's gonna ever work. Just go your separate ways, bruh. Because he just go your separate ways. I don't think the relationship will do it. But anyway, we're gonna move on. Then gosh, I just got over there. So then we go to Giselle. She's ordering breakfast and it was a nice little cupcake. I was hungry. I was like, oh, okay, they was eating that. Then Ashley, of course, she come there, she started eating. So I'm like, but then she was like, Maya was like, now she's upset with Giselle. She was like, either you're gonna like me or you're not gonna like me. Like, what's the problem? Like, what's the issue? And all that. And then my ink pen went out, so I had to put the notes in my phone. So put some notes in my phone. So all that was going on. And then Karen was like, is inviting, Maya to Ashley like event. They was gonna have an event for Ashley. She about to have a baby for they can pamper, like a pampering event, like at the spa. Then Robin, she's in the store. Now she up. Okay, she's in the store doing some ordering. And I'm like, oh, you got up on time for that. But anyway, she's in there. And then she said, I left the kids alone, but they can't get in the car and drive because they ain't nowhere to go. You don't leave your kids. You just left your kids alone and talk about, well, they can't get in like they can get in the car and go somewhere. Ain't no way to go. I'm like, okay, she don't want to be no mama no more. She don't want to be. She's suffering depression. Anyway, I'm gonna give her a pass. I'm not gonna press the gas on her, but she's in there doing the ordering in the store and everything like that. She talking to her friend. And then Wendy came over to visit. She had on high heels, so she looked like she ain't come to work. Then it looked like Robin friend had on her high heels, looked like she didn't come to work. They looked like they were just there to shoot and just to be just to gossip. Okay. So then Maya, she what was that? Okay, so all that was going on, and then Maya was up there trying to order tables. Then Giselle invited Ashley. Giselle invited all these people to come to the event for Ashley, and then Maya. They was go back to that with the Wendy, because Maya put her hands in Wendy face, and Maya was like, "What you gonna do about it?" So they had that whole little flashback. So I was like, "Okay, is they gonna really bring this to this pregnant woman event? Like, come on." So then it gets to, I want to talk about this piece of this episode. Candace, it gets back to her husband's rearranging the alcohol, the liquor. And then, of course, she's like, oh, you better not let my mom see this and see that. So, of course, the mama called FaceTime. It's like, oh, you drinking? He said, yeah, I'm drinking. I'm about to go cook the kids some food. I'm like, who drinks that early? But anyway, it's early in the day. I'm not a drinker. So I don't drink in the day. So I'm a social drinker. Meaning I had to be at an event about that, or I had to be at an event, but I don't see myself up in the day. I drink water, but I don't be up at 1 p.m. drinking alcohol. I've never done that. At 1 o'clock just drinking out, and it was a whole lot of alcohol. But anyway, I'm not judging. So the mom was doing that. She was like, oh, you doing that? And then the mom was telling Candace, so you gonna let your husband manage you? That ain't gonna good. He might try to steal from you and stuff like that. And I'm like, the mama kind of toxic, but I agree with the mother-in-law on that. Like the mama, Candace mama, like you got to be careful letting your husband trying to manage you when things ain't going right with his life. Let him get his own job, let him get his own career, and let him get his own stuff together. Okay. All right. I'm gonna just be real clear with that. And then it gets to I'm just being real clear. And then okay, I want to go back. No. I want to go to this. Okay. And then Karen and Wendy, they met up and they went to the girl cave. Wendy went to Karen's house because Wendy, she wanted to get a home extension line. She wanted to get some candles. And I like this, Wendy. First of all, you want to be a political commentator. You want to be a professor. You want to get your boobs done. And now you want to sell candles. And then she was like, I'm coming to you, Karen, to get some advice about the business. She was like, okay, let me see the candle. And I'm like, Oni, I think it's Oni. I can't pronounce it, but it's Oni or Oyna Oni. Anyway, for a candle. I definitely want to smell it. I want to definitely smell her candle. I do want to smell her candle, and I'm going to support it whenever it come out. And then she was like, whatever your budget is, double it. So originally she said, Wendy was like her budget. She got $20,000, but she said a budget double that, which to come up with $40,000 to start her home essential line. So they was having a call. And then what gets me about you, Wendy, and I'm gonna be honest with you, sus. I'm gonna be honest. You can't tell me you a professor. You can't tell me you got all these degrees and you a professor and you acting like you don't know how to start no business. Hold up, wait a minute. Because when Karen asks you about your business proposal, you gonna get up there and you gonna say out your mouth, well, I only have a paragraph. How in the world can you be on CNN or MSNBC, do all this talking about social justice and politics, and all you got is a paragraph for your business? You don't know how to get your business off the ground, and you a professor, you college educated? Like, and you said, oh my gosh, I don't know. I don't want to do this. I'm like, what? You can't tell me that you go sit here and have all this education and you sitting here, you don't know what to do. Okay, that really is. I'm like, is this on the show? Is this a storyline? Let me just make this up because come on now. Um, so it gets to that, then it gets to Maya, one of my favorite cast members of the show, really, and she's new. But she spending time with her mom. She was talking about how she don't really have a relationship with her mom because her mom was on drugs. Her mom and her dad was on drugs, and it was like 6 years. As she talked, she said she's embarrassed. And because she said she used to lay on the floor, waiting for her. She had no relationship. I teared up, and I'm like, drugs destroy a lot of relationships, and it's just really, really sad. So her talking about this, even though I can kind of relate, even though my mom, she dealt with alcohol, she was dependent on that, and that was like really sad because that kind of like damaged our relationship because I went on to move with my grandmother. So I understand and I get it. It's really, really sad. My mom did not abandon me, but I just could not just live with just seeing her just drunk, breaking stuff, cussing folks out, just acting ignorant every single weekend. I just said it's toxic, so I just went on to move with my grandmother. But that, I just was like, damn, I just have something in common with Maya. So I'm like, okay, that's great. So that was kind of good just to seeing that outside the mess that they're really being personal. And I'm like, I'm loving her storyline. So then Karen, I think, and Candace, they having a conversation. Now, mind you, they are not getting along because according to Candace, Karen did not have her back. And Karen was like, listen, I'm gonna be neutral. And then she was like, listen, I'm gonna be neutral. And if I could do it all over again, I'm gonna be neutral. And with a straight face, this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna be neutral. It is what it is. This is who I am. And I'm just not gonna change it. I'm going to be neutral. So I'm like, okay, ain't nothing you can do about it. That's what I'm saying. You want to have these friendships, and then you get in drag, and then now they want to be neutral. But you've been defending Karen all this. You've been defending Candace all this time, and now you want to be neutral. That's why I said you got to be real careful with people because they'll flip flop on you in a second, and they want to call me a flip flop. There's a lot of flip floppers on this cast. Okay. Anyway, so then they get to their pamper party to Ashley. Then they get in their makeup. They get in a massage. Giselle, she's doing what she's doing. Ashley, Giselle, and then was there. And then Robin, she brought her friend. And then they just, they're talking. And then it gets messy. And then who was that? Wait a minute, because this is something that really, again. Wendy told Mia, listen, I'm ready for you now. You ain't gonna I'm ready for you now. I'm just letting you know I'm here right now. I'm ready for they going back and forth. And then all that stuff was talking. And then Mia was like, yeah, I was in a gentleman's club. I was a stripper. I had on a gown. And they said, well, you're an escort. I'm like, well, it is what it is. And I'm like, what were you? Like, that's how you got that old man. Because I'm like, how did you get him? I was like, oh, you probably gave him some punani. He paid for it. He fell in love with it. He wanted to take you at home and love you long time. And now that your punani has been all whack because you got your click, you made it, you got some reconstructive surgery on your yoni, and now now it's coming out that you used to be working a gentleman's club. So that's why your click and your yoni just wide and loose, right? So now all that stuff is going on. So now it's really coming out. The reason why you had to get some surgery to make it tight, because that old grandpa probably hopped on there and he probably just whooped right through it. It just is loose and just fell right in. And he paid for that surgery to go ahead and tighten it up. Because you had decades of people going inside that yoni, inside your inside part, and just giving you money and just wearing your yoni out. Because anytime you try to get surgery to make it tighter, that means that thing been put to work. Ain't no way in the world I'm gonna go down and do some stuff with that. I'm gonna just tell you, I don't want to go somebody that loose like that, and you done sold it to the highest bidder. Come on now, no. So all that was going on. And that's what I'm saying. See, my thing is this, and I'm being 100% real. Because first you said, I am a bartender. She did say that, right? She said she was a bartender. Then she kept talking. You just kept talking because as long as you let her talk, she gonna tell on herself. Oh, I was in a gentleman's club. Wasn't really a strap. It wasn't no pole. I had a long gown. And then Karen gonna say, well, I'm going to ask Maya to teach me how to get on a pole. And I'm like, I don't care how you get on that pole. I don't care how you get that droopy body and take all them clothes off. If your man peen don't work, it don't work. Ain't nothing you can do. He gonna have to get him some Viagra, or he gonna have to get him some Lazarus juice or something to make that thing rise up. I don't care how you twist and turn on that pole. If his peen don't rise and it's whackety whack whack, ain't none that you could do to make it get on hard. He's gonna have to get some Lazarus juice, or he's gonna have to wind up getting some Viagra. Okay, I'm just saying. And if that don't work, it's just gone. You just gonna have to, I don't know, get you a toy from Adam and Eve. Okay. Anyway, so uh so that was sums up the Real Housewives of Potomac. This is my first time reviewing it, you guys. It's going to get better every single week. I'm going to have my better notes and stuff like that. So y'all bear with me. This is something new for the subscribers. I said, listen, I want to cover this show every single week. So I started. How did I do? Let me know in the comments and let me know how I did and stuff like that. But I definitely have to cover it every single week and stuff like that. So this is my first time. My first time. Okay. This is our first time getting at it, you know what I'm saying? So I really like it. It's a good show. But for right now, I do like Giselle, but my favorites is Maya, and I love me some Ashley. I'm gonna be clear with you because she messy and everything like that. Okay. But thank y'all. All right, let's go on to the celebrity gossip real quick. Let's get into this. Give me a second. We're gonna talk about some different things that we have about. Okay, again, we still talking about Lil Nas X, girl. Like, we're gonna be talking about him for at least a couple of more days, because I'm telling you, the black community, they are just up in the work. So none other than, let me see where we at. Give me a second. It was a Bros. What was his name? Give me a second. I'm gonna make sure I get everybody in here because they are just getting on Lil Nas X is something. So is it Boyce Walkins? So he had something to say, and this is what he said. I just want to read what he said, right? Because they really coming. Lil Nas X dropped the song. He dropped the record, Industry Baby, and everybody got something to say about Lil Nas X. So this is what I think it's Dr. Bruce Walkins did what he said, but he said this on Instagram. He said, check my record, brother. I think that any and all rappers like Lil Nas X and Cardi B and others are poisons to the black community, especially to black children. Basically, you're being paid by the white corporations to encourage any and all behavior that leads to the death and suffering of black people. I know quite a few people in the LGBT community who are sickened by the fact that their cause is being undermined by ho-fest minstrel shows. A bunch of dudes spreading it out their cheeks, twerking in prison, have nothing to do with gay rights. It's an artist desperate for attention, using gay rights as a cover to push our people further down the drain. Truth is, the racist corporations that pay you for this nonsense would never promote your ass if you were healthy. That's a fact. Let me tell you where you're wrong, was Mr. Watkins, and I'm just going to be 100% clear with you on this. It's called art. You had so many people in this situation. Let's be crystal clear. You had Snoop Dogg that called women bees and hoes. You had Tupac call women bees and hoe. You had R. Kelly saying when he was saying his music. You had Chris Brown say what he was saying his music. You had 50 Cent say what he said in his music. But it's such a problem that when an openly gay black male decide to express himself with his dancers that is gay, creating jobs for these people in the LGBT community, right? Bringing them to the mainstream because that's his experience. I would rather him showing us his lifestyle on display than pretend like he like women, kissing on women like some of these other rappers do that don't want to come out the closet. They playing it safe and got women in there. So I want to just be honest with you. Lil Nas X is an incredible artist. People need to stop with this. It's going to turn my child gay. Or, oh, you're going to make my child be gay because of the music. I want to read what Lil Nas X said in this. Y'all be silent as hell when Ninja decide their entire music catalog to rapping about sleeping with multiple women. But when I do anything remotely sexual, I'm being sexually irresponsible and calling more men to die from AIDS. Y'all hate gay people and don't hide it. That y'all hate gay people and don't hide it. That's the problem. And this is another thing what Mr. Walken said. I just definitely disagree with him. He said Lil Nas X isn't fighting for gay rights. He's marketing this sexual irresponsibility that caused a young man to die from AIDS. Being gay is one thing, but being a super spreader is another. There's nothing healthy or healthy about that video, especially for children. That right then and there is just based on pure ignorance. Pure ignorance, right? Pure ignorance. He making it seem like Lil Nas X was having raw sex in the video. That's what, and it was nothing like that. The guys were nude. It was blurred out. They were doing videos. Period. Point blank. Nothing more, nothing less. The boy was shaking his butt in Lil Nas X face. It's a form of art. Period. It's a form of art. People gonna go and have what they gonna have, period, point blank. But let's not put this on Lil Nas X's shoulders that he's making people get AIDS and make them die. No, that ain't on Lil Nas X. That's whomever that want to go around and do unprotected sex and don't protect themselves and don't want to get on PrEP. That's on them. But what I want to say about Lil Nas X, he's not one of the first, but he's one of the first in the mainstream that's on this mainstream level that's really showing you that in the black community, you still get people that don't want gay people to be out and open, period, point blank. They are cool with you as long as you're in the closet. They are cool with you as long as you're in the dark. They are cool with you as long as you're silent. But as soon as you come out and be open and proud, it is a problem and it's an issue. It is nothing wrong with it. If you don't want to see the video, don't watch it. Don't click on it. If you don't want your children to watch it, tell them don't click on it and watch it. It's up to you as a parent what your child watch at home. It's up to you as a parent what your child watch at home. If you don't want your children to watch it, don't watch it. Period, point blank. Because Beyonce shakes her butt. I don't see that backlash. I don't understand. Why is it such an issue for Lil Nas X? I don't understand it. And all you're doing is the more you're talking about it, the more people are going to watch the video. And that video, I believe, is up to probably, so let me go and check. Let me check and see how many views that video got. I think that video got how many views? That video got 27 million views. 27 million views that video got on there. 27 million views. So that to me is to tell you that obviously somebody like it. Obviously somebody like it. When you look at that video, somebody like it. 1.7 million likes. Okay. So and that's just right. And that just in 2 days. I'm just saying. So all that was going on. So we're gonna go to our other topic. I can go on and on and on about this, and of course, we will open up the phone lines, or I will drop the StreamYard link if anybody want to come on StreamYard. I will drop that first, and if we don't get nobody to come on StreamYard, we will definitely bring people on the phone lines. But give me a second. I'm gonna go to our other topic. So. All right, Tasha K and Cardi B. Let's get an update on the case. So this is a update. You know, the lawyer of Cardi B is saying that hey, we need to file a motion because Cardi B is pregnant and she can't travel, and so pretty much what this document said, the scheduled dates. She can't. They said the plaintiff will be unable to attend the trial on the currently scheduled dates because she is scheduled to give birth around the time and the plaintiff has advised her that she will not be able to travel for a period of time before and after delivery. So they filed this motion to the court. Originally, the trial was supposed to start in September, and now Cardi B lawyers are saying, "Wait a minute, Cardi's pregnant, so she can't come to the trial." And do it, so we went out to postpone it. So now they got to postpone it for a whole nother, probably a whole nother 6 months for her to get off maternity leave or whatever. So we should definitely see about that. I think this is a win for Tasha because she get more time to prepare, more time to give out content, more time to bring out to get to her million subs. So this is a win-win situation. Win-win situation. This could have been settled this year, but it looked like this definitely would have. It's going to last until probably next year. This could have really been settled in the fall of this year. Could have been settled, but since Cardi B is pregnant, they definitely cannot do that. So it's just more time for her to get her strategy together. More time for Tasha K lawyers to do that. So hopefully either Tasha K lawyers could be petty, be like, "Oh, we don't. This is unfair." Blah blah blah. But we shall see. I do believe that Tasha K. I do believe that Cardi B will definitely get that motion will be granted, that she'll be able to, you know, not be at court. I do believe the judge will be like, okay, we'll go ahead and grant that motion. I do believe because she is pregnant. You know what I'm saying? She is pregnant. And by the time September happened, either she'll probably be close to her delivery date. She really can't travel because I think she live in California now, or she from she traveled from California to Georgia, so she's probably in California. So we shall see how that's gonna go. This is just more time for Tasha to definitely, get her strategy together. Why can't she travel for a period of time after she delivers? That's crazy. So I don't know. Is it a sign that Cardi B want to give up the case? Who knows? But she definitely got to have a baby. So now, because I think Cardi got to go to court, so I don't know. This will not be on Zoom. This will be inside the courtroom. I'm looking at it. That's what it looks like, because she says she can't really travel. And if it was on Zoom, you wouldn't really need a motion because you could just do it on Zoom. But I'm assuming that they will be in the courtroom and not on Zoom. That the trial will take place inside the courtroom. Oh, I would love to go inside that courtroom and see that trial. Okay. So I will keep y'all updated on my Patreon. We released the court document and we released it on Patreon. We got the update. I immediately released it to the Patreons. And once the judge grant the motion or don't grant it, I will notify my Patreon people first. And then we'll come out and talk to y'all over here on Station here and talk to y'all about that. So we shall see how that's gonna go. I think a lot of people was prepared to give out their content to drag Tasha this year, but you're gonna have to wait until that verdict because that verdict look like it will not happen this year. It look like that case probably they won't go to trial until next year because if I don't know when it's her delivery date. I don't know when she's supposed to deliver when she's expecting to deliver the baby. So it could be next year, or it had to be next year because Thanksgiving is coming up, Christmas, holidays is coming up. So if you don't do it in September, it's going to have to be next year because it's holiday season coming up. You got Christmas and you got Thanksgiving. All right. So we shall see how this is going to operate. All right. So it could be next year. So I'm could be 2022 that we get a trial. All right. So I will definitely keep y'all updated on that. All right. So I didn't talk to Tasha about it because I'm like, Tasha could just save up her money and save up her bread, save up, continue to do her content, continue to travel. That's one of the things when you get pregnant, you can't move around like that. All right. So I'm going to open up the phone lines and allow you all to call in. But I did see a couple of y'all were talking about Lil Nas X. So if y'all want to call in and speak on it, we definitely will let y'all call in and talk about Lil Nas X. Or you can speak about the Real Housewives of Potomac. Tomorrow I'll be live on All About the Tea, and we'll be talking about some shows tomorrow. So I'm excited about that. So I'm going to open up these phone lines and allow you all to call in. Give me 1 second. get these song lines together. All right. So I'm gonna put that on here. Give me a second. Put it on the screen. There we go. All right, there we go. And I'm gonna do this. Give me a second. I'm gonna open it up so y'all can definitely call in and have a conversation about it. So we shall see how this is gonna go. But they were trying to drag Lil Nas X, but the more you drag him, the more money goes in his pocket. More money goes in his pocket. All right, there we go. Hold on. Do this. Open up these phone lines so y'all can call in. And the number is 646-716-8447. Cardi B knew her due date was. She waited to the last to say so. Yeah, hey, she probably waited after that. After she could have easily announced that beforehand, but she's trying to play some games here. If they case so strong, just go ahead on. Go walk up in that courtroom pregnant.
Your show now. Press 1.
Your show is scheduled to start in 27 seconds.
If you got a strong case, I don't care if you have to deliver that baby in a courtroom, but you got such a strong case. Go ahead and do what you got to do. But we shall see how this gonna go and play out. Because I know a lot of people.
Your show will go live in 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1. Blog Talk Radio.
A lot of people. Okay, there we go. 3071, call you on air.
Good evening. I have a question. I'm not sure if anyone can answer. Being that Cardi and Tasha K, now they have to go to court. Cardi admitted to some of the activities that Tasha alleged. Now, will she have to take a test proving that she does not have herpes for her to win her case?
Well,
because she just can't say she doesn't have it. Now, doesn't she have to get a test?
Yes, she does have to get a test, but according to the court documents I read, that she did take a test. So, and I think it all came back negative. Nothing came back positive. But yeah, so that's what I read. So, yeah, I think she already took her test, according to the documents I read.
Okay, and did it show? I mean, according to HIPAA,
well, just according to what I read, but it's going to trial. So I'm assuming that if you say that, hey, you have this, of course, it have to be some evidence, and they're gonna have to show all of that. And of course, all of that was gonna have to be shown at trial, that you don't have these, STIs that you were accused of by Tasha K. So of course, that's gonna have to play out and on trial and show the jury that say, hey, I don't have this. So that's one of the defense that I believe Cardi B team going to use. That say, hey, we took the test and she don't have it.
Well, at the end of it, I'm just really pushing for Tasha because I know Cardi has said a lot of offensive things about Black women, and it just surprises me how Black women, they support Cardi when Tasha has proved a lot of things that she has said about us. So I'm just pulling for Tasha.
I'm rooting for Tasha too, because what it's going to do for a lot of celebrities, they're going to think, oh, we're just going to threaten these bloggers with lawsuits, and they're not going to talk about us no more. If you don't give me praise commentary, I'm just going to drag you to court. So no, I don't want Tasha K to lose. I want her to win, because if Cardi B wins this, it's going to send shockwaves with her celebrity friends in Hollywood, if they could just scare bloggers with lawsuits. All right. Okay. 1753, caller, you on air.
Hello, Wiley. How are you?
Hey, how you doing?
I'm doing good, thank you. I just want to chime in on Lil Nas X really quickly.
Okay.
I am just so tired of this selective outrage that the Black community has when it comes to the LGBT community. I mean, if I could recall, Cardi B made a video called Up, and she kissed like 3 women at a time, okay? They were like slobbing knobs, okay, flopping spit. And then when Lil Nas X do something, it's like, okay, well, we don't like it, or, he's, influencing the kids and all that stuff. Nobody can influence anybody to be gay, okay? If they're gay, that's exactly what it is. What I think the real issue is that I feel like Lil Nas X makes them want to come out the closet. I feel like some straight men or whoever has anything against Lil Nas X, I feel like he really tickles them, right? Because we have a lot of people who are undercover. And I think that they're really mad that he's confident in his own skin, okay? And even through all the backlash, he's still able to perform and come out and still let the people talk. Also, another thing, I am tired of this old rhetoric about, okay, AIDS are spread through gay people. Like, sweetie, AIDS are among every community, straight, gay, pansexual, whatever you want to call it, okay? They are not out here spreading AIDS, all right? That's all I want to say about that, because it annoys me. I'm not a fan
And
of
to
Lil
be
Nas X.
clear, I could be wrong, but ain't Black women leading that in cases? In Black, don't
Right,
Black
but we are
women?
leading it because we have men who are sleeping with both.
Right. So
Okay.
because what I'm saying is, so with that tweet that Boss Walkins put out, he making it seem it's just gay people that played into that, and that's just not true. That's not true. And not according to the CDC. If you look at this,
That's true, but he's bringing up something that we spoke about like in the 80s, right? Like people were saying that about gay people back then, right? And even back then, that wasn't only true, right? But you have a lot of rappers such as, Young Buck and other rappers who sleep with, transsexuals and people who are on the down low, okay, then go back and spread it to their wives, their baby mothers and things. So it's not just gay people who are spreading it, okay? And we all going to hell. If you fornicate, if you curse, if you do anything that is outside the Bible guidelines, you're going to hell. Okay, so you just need to let him do his thing and just stop making it a big deal, because when women kiss or when they do things, we never have outrage, right? It's deemed sexy. So it's kind of like a double-edged sword.
It is, and it's really sad. And that just to show you how some of my brothers and sisters in the Black community can be ignorant and how conservative they can be when it comes to this issue. And they're putting all this pressure on this man, on this brother, which he's not out here selling drugs. He's not out here having guns. I wish they put that energy into these rappers that talk about killing each other. And you know what I'm saying? They actually dying at a fast rate. I'm talking these young rappers.
That's true.
Where is the outrage for that? Because that's more pushing us back as a Black community than what Lil Nas X is doing.
Exactly. So that's why I said earlier, it's selective outrage, right? Like even in New York City, we have a lot of young people dying, right? 13, 15, 16, with all of this gang stuff going around. But nobody seems to want to talk about that. We want to talk about the gay man who's actually doing his job because he's an artist. And mind you, I'm not a fan of Lil Nas X, okay? But I could respect people's craft, all right? I'm not a fan. However, I cannot deny the fact that, he's just living in his truth. Also, if you're a straight man and you're sagging your pants, wasn't it also a sign of you being gay? So what was the whole outrage of him being in jail? I'm so confused.
Because people, a lot of folks sag their pants on the street, and a lot of folks, I don't know if they still do it now. I really don't see people sagging their pants like they used to.
I do. Like,
maybe because I don't live in a hood.
Like, do you know where that come from? Like, do you know where that stems from?
Right. Maybe because I'm not in the hood, but yeah.
I'm just here, and mind you, I'm a straight female, but I need people to just give Lil Nas X some space. All right, let him do his thing. He's a performer, entertainer, and if you don't like it, you could just click off. You don't have to watch it.
And my thing is this: they sit and they watch it and they criticize it.
Yeah, but you're watching it. You're giving it more energy. You're giving it more views. So you really like it. You just don't want to admit that you like it, and that's okay too. Because guess what? Good, bad, and different is all love, and you get more views that way.
I want to say this though. I want to say this. For anybody that got something to say, the number is 646-716-8447. Thank you so very much for joining the conversation.
No problem. Have a good Sunday, Wiley. And thanks for your review on the Real Housewives of Potomac.
Thank you. Okay. That was wonderful. Anonymous, you live on the air.
Yes, I just wanted to say that the adult people is not easy to be influenced, but kids, they are easy to be influenced. And I want to disagree with her about the Bible thing. The Bible has been tampered with all different types of ways, so a lot of that stuff that's in the Bible is not true. A lot of that stuff is not. I mean, you got to do your deep research on it. But kids are easily to be influenced because they're kids. If although they being taught at home from their parents and stuff like that, but they still can be influenced by the other deep stuff like that. And for the gay community and stuff like that, I don't have nothing against. I have nothing against what people preference is or who they want to become or be. And for it's like people saying that can't no one make nobody else gay. I'm not saying that they can or they can't. But I do know that a lot of people in the gay community do throw themselves at, because I done had a lot of gay females to try to come off on to me.
But
ma'am,
you get on this show and you criticize me and you call me the F word, the S word all the time.
Hold on, who you think this is? I'm not the person that you think I am.
Okay.
No, I don't do that. No, I'm not that person. No.
Okay.
But
if
anyway,
you say so.
I'm not that person. I don't know who that is, but anyway, like I was saying though, but people that saying that this and that and the other about gay community, straight people and all that, true enough, diseases can't come from anywhere, any place, but at the same time, gay men sleep with undercover gay men, sleep with other gay men, and then they come home and sleep with their women and pass a disease to their women. Trick and all that different stuff. Because, I'm going to say this. Don't hang up, please, while I'm going to say it. Got to say it. Shit and fish don't mix. When a man penetrate another man,
but
of his rectum,
why is that? Let me say this.
When a man penetrate another man up in the rectum, he gonna have sex with his wife or his girlfriend.
That's not in every case, though.
But
that's not in every case. No, you're assuming that. No, that's not in every case.
But see,
that's not in every case.
To cover up for the gay community. It's not cool to be gay, man. It's not. It's in the Bible.
But you just said you don't believe. See, this is the thing, ma'am. You can't contradict yourself. You said you don't even believe in things in the Bible, but then when it's the gay topic, it's in the Bible. Which one is it? Is the Bible correct or the Bible not correct? I want this. I want you to.
A man was put here to be a man. Come on,
right.
Now let's keep that real, Wally. A man was put here to be a man, not a woman.
But you just said,
to be gay, man. You always trying to take up for the gay community.
But you just said.
Because you gay, that's why you keep trying to take up.
There we go. There you go. I knew you was that type of caller, and you be calling me the S word, the F word, and all that type of good stuff. But what I'm trying to say is women that be with women as well. Why y'all not calling them out as too? I'm just saying. I told y'all that was that caller. I know her voice. She was about to call me the F word. All right, Anonymous, you live on the air. Hello.
Hello.
I need you to talk. Hold on, sister. You cannot get on here whispering. You got to speak loud.
Let me go in another room.
Okay, I got to let you go because you can't get on here whispering.
Can you hear me?
I can't hear you. You whispering. Can you speak up loud?
Yes, let me just talk. I can't go through.
Okay, hold on. I got to get you up. I don't know if you had it for somebody or what, but 2732, caller, you're there.
Hey, Wiley.
Hey.
Hey, Wiley. How you doing? I just wanted to come on because I am so sick of these church people. I am a evangelist. I am in the church, and this is exactly why this young man is doing this, because people are so freaking judgmental. They're more judgmental than Jesus. The Bible only says there is one unforgivable sin, and that's to blaspheme the Holy Ghost. And before you start condemning people, you need to condemn yourself for that big pot belly that you got from eating. It's called gluttony. You need to judge yourself from you smoking those cigarettes. You need to judge yourself from you drinking. You need to judge yourself from you cursing in front of people. We see so much going on in this world, but yet they want to talk about men sleeping with men. We see black on black crime every freaking day. We see rap saying go out to go kill another black person, but nobody complains about that. They listen to it and they dance to it, and I'm just sick of the hypocrisy. How you gonna say the Bible not right, but then say the Bible is right? But go by the Bible. Make up your mind.
Right, because she said the Bible ain't right. She just said it. Then one of her arguments was in the Bible not to be gay. I'm like, well, which one is it, ma'am?
Confusion. That's what it is. It's called confusion. Get yourself together before you start judging somebody else. The reason he is doing all of this is because he is so sick of being judged by all these hypocritic Christians. Try loving them. Try sending him some love instead of judging him all the time.
Preach.
Okay, Wiley, that's all. You did a great job on Housewives, and I'm a teacup, and that's all I came here to say is I love you.
Oh, thank you so very much. Thank you, Evangelist. All right. So we want to say thank you. That caller, I'm telling y'all, listen, I want to say thank you because the caller before her, I know her voice, and she's so disrespectful. The caller before this caller, she will call in. She would be nice. She would talk a little something. And then I said, I know your voice. Oh, I'm not that woman. I'm not that woman. And she get to talking just as ignorant. But she's calling into a show of a man that be with men, right? And you're calling into his show over and over and over again. But you have a problem with a man that hump man, but yet you call into my show weekly. I don't understand it. I don't understand it at all. That don't make sense. If you have an issue with men on top of men, why would you call into a show of a man that be with men? That don't make sense to me. And you listen to the show like you listen to the whole show, right? And then you call in and you want to be ignorant. You know what I'm saying? I don't know how this woman look. You know what I'm saying? She could be beautiful, you know. I hope she's not raggedy because I can say a whole lot of stuff, you know. But hey, it is what it is. And I like women and men. I like both. Maybe she don't have a man. Maybe her man went on with her brother. Who knows? I don't know. So let's move on. 0316 caller, you're there.
Hi. Let me ask you this, Wiley. Do you believe in the Bible?
I believe that we are all God's children. Yeah. I believe that we all have a choice to do right or wrong. The scripture speaks against homosexuality. It's in the scripture, the old King James Version. It talks about it. Yeah. But my question to the Christians and to the church, how are you going to win people in the LGBT community is when you call them the S word, the F word. How can you win them? How can they change from that lifestyle to a straight lifestyle? What is the protocol? What is the procedure? What do they need to do? What is the success rate? Where is the folks that got delivered, truly delivered, that don't even think about, because you ain't delivered it, you still thinking about it in your mind and lusting out another man. You might as well just go on and commit the act. So, but where is the success rate of people getting delivered, and where are those people at? Because all I'm hearing is people saying how wrong it is. But how can you change a person from one way to another way?
Well, let me say this. Okay, you said you do believe in the words of the Bible. So according to God, God said it's an abominable sin to be gay and even to wear the clothing.
But it's so
other,
many other sins, ma'am. It
sex.
speaks about women wearing pants. It speaks about
Right.
it speaks about so much adultery, fornication. Where is the people?
Exactly.
It speaks
Wait,
about a
hold on.
lot.
Let me say
Fish.
this, though.
It speaks about
Let
a
me-
lot in the scripture.
Yeah, it does. It does. Like, okay, I curse and that is wrong, but I will tell you it's wrong. But if you talk to a gay person, they don't feel like being gay is wrong. You have to know
Not
that
every gay
if
person.
you fall-
It's people that say
Huh?
they think that not every. You haven't talked to every. Have you talked to every gay person in the world? Or are you just talking about your experience of the
I'm
people
talking
that you
about my
asked?
friends, my friends, my friends, my friends. I mean, do you feel like being gay is wrong?
I feel like, listen, I feel like murder is wrong. I feel like we should have a
Right.
decision.
No, I didn't ask you
Listen,
that.
but
I didn't
listen,
ask
but
you that
listen,
'cause
but
we
listen.
do
Have
feel
I
like.
ever thought of it being wrong?
Mhm.
Yes. But my thing is this.
Thank you.
Tell me
But see, a
how.
lot of
Hold
gay
on, hold
people
on
will
one
not say
second. Let me
that,
let me
though.
finish with
They
you with
won't
this
say
because
that, Wiley.
it's a serious conversation because I was on the road of being totally delivered. I thought I was totally delivered until I saw a man and
Right.
I humped him because I saw him on the green line on the train in Chicago and we just got it in. I really thought I was delivered. I thought I was delivered, right? I saw him on the green line. We have eye contact and he actually go to a Kojic church and I humped him, went to his apartment, got off that train with my Bible and went on. I think I had my Bible in my book bag or something, and we went and humped that night. But I thought I was delivered. I thought, but I saw him and we got the humping. So I was on the journey. I was on the altar. I called on Jesus. I'm just being honest with you. And I've been in a Pentecostal church, right? I've cried out to the Lord. I cried and I said, "Oh, I'm delivered, I'm delivered, I'm delivered, I'm delivered, I'm delivered." Until I see somebody and then I'm humping them and then just it just it's just like to me, what it calls me, and I'm gonna be real with you, sister, it calls me to have a mental illness because is this right or is this wrong? I can't do this and I can't do. It's like I was forcing myself to be something that I wasn't, right? And it caused me to develop an illness like bipolar. This is why I think that I have bipolar because I will go to church, I'm delivered, I'm delivered, I'm delivered, then go back in school, see a guy that I like, and just doing. So it just caused so much problems for me personally, you know, because all they would say, you on your way to hell. To this day, I'm 30 years old, and I still struggle with decision making. Because I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna go to hell. Oh my gosh, oh my god, I can't go to the movies. Oh my gosh, I can't. Oh,
No one
because
should be
so
telling anyone that
so. But what I'm
that they're
saying
going
is,
to
it's
hell.
so many people that struggles with that. It was a long time that I thought that I was
That
gonna go to
is true. I
hell
do agree with
because
that.
I sit
But
in
the
a movie.
thing is,
Can I say this? I thought for a long
I'm
time because
sorry.
I was taught that if you go to the movie theaters, you're on your way to hell. So I be in the movie theaters. Oh my gosh, I'm going to hell. I'm going to hell. Oh, I told my former best friend we was gonna
Right.
go to the movies. I said we can't sit in the seat of the scornful. We can't do that. So I was so afraid not to go to the movies. And so now he's married, right? He married to a second wife. And you know how he's living right now? In the closet on the DL. And he's still in church. He's still on there preaching. He's still praying and
It's a
all
lot
that.
of gay people in
And
church.
now he's a closeted gay because he been taught that gay being wrong. So what he doing is let me just pretend that I'm straight and get a wife. See, I wasn't that foolish. I wasn't going to marry a woman knowing that I wasn't going to be committed to her only. I didn't make that mistake because I knew that was wrong to drag somebody else into your mess. So I was brought up in a Pentecostal sanctified church. And Dr. Larry Reed did an interview with mine, And she said, just 2 years ago, I thought that I was on my way to hell. People think that. And do you know that causes a lot of mental illness? People struggles with that. I had a sister that I grew up in the church with. She had a mental breakdown. I had a mental breakdown. So we can have a conversation. And if you got the antidote to tell me to make me fully straight, and you know you got the pathway, I sign up today. If you got the answer, but you say,
well, let me
go ahead.
Let me say this, please. Let me say this. A sin is a sin. Like, I shouldn't curse, I shouldn't fornicate. But the problem that I have with with gay people is that they think it's right and the agenda is being pushed. If you believe in the word of God, it is not right, and y'all are not accepting that.
It's not just for gays. It's people that gotten divorced and they were saying don't get divorced and make people feel guilty because it's a sin to divorce your husband. It's so much. Do you know for a long time in a lot of denominations, and some still believe it now, that women cannot wear makeup? That's the type of denomination I come from. Women should not wear pants. Do you know I came from a church that it's a sin to wear pants? That you cannot wear pants, you got to wear a skirt.
That's in the Bible. We should not be wearing
pants. So you hear all you hear all
of it is wrong.
You hear. I'm just saying, but what I'm trying to say is you hear all of these rules and stipulations that are coming up, right? And what I say is the church have to do a better job with their message and to be able to talk to me as their brother and sister and not think of me as the F word and the S word, because I do know that's not in the scripture. Do you see FAG in the scripture? Is that in the scripture?
I have never been to a church where anyone called.
I'm just asking you a question. Have you seen have you ever seen the word SISSY in the scripture? But you see preachers that say, I'm preaching against that sissy spirit and that faggot. You hear that.
I've never
I know you never experienced that, but I have. You know how hurtful that feels?
That is wrong. If you've really experienced that, that's wrong.
So for me, how can you gain my soul when I've been insulted? You know, so I'm just saying this conversation is go real deep if we're willing to have the conversation. And I'm willing to speak to bishops and pastors and prophets. If they're out there, I'm willing to have that conversation.
Okay.
Because we only talk about that. That's the only sin, I think, out of all sins that get the publicity.
Still don't understand that it's wrong.
But adultery is wrong. People still do it.
Right.
Fornication is wrong. People still do it.
Wrong. Y'all can't. Can you say that being
having children? Okay.
That.
Let me say this: having children. You're not married according to the scripture. You got to be married to conceive a child. But do we give that?
Wrong, though. You guys
that don't give the same publicity. That don't give the same publicity like the LGBT issues. It don't, ma'am. The LGBT issue is if you're not careful, people, an average person would think that's just the only sin that God is just totally, he just really against. That's the only one. But it's a whole lot of stuff in the scripture that is
bad. All of them are bad.
I'm just saying.
So all I'm saying is we should not be pushing for the LGBT.
But how can you say that and you cuss, ma'am? Are you perfect and upright? You cuss.
Because God doesn't want it.
How can you tell me what God doesn't want when you cuss? How can you tell me that?
I just said that it's wrong to curse. It's also wrong.
But you can't gang me because you cuss. You think the average gay person gonna listen to you and you be cussing?
I can't what? Can't what?
You can't gang somebody to come to your argument and you cuss. You got to first be an example of the clean lifestyle.
No one's perfect and we all sin.
No one perfect and we all sin.
To my sin. I'm not going to put, I can tell you that cursing is wrong, but gay people will not tell you that being gay is wrong.
That's not true. You just spoke to somebody in the community that said, according to the scripture, what have been taught, that it was wrong. I still think about, so I think this is wrong. I feel this is wrong, but why do it feel so good? I'm just saying, I have these conversations, man. You're talking to somebody that say, "Oh, this is so wrong." Plenty days, I'm like, I ain't gonna never do that. And go, I ain't gonna hump him again. This is wrong. This is wrong. And then boom, hump him, and go back.
Well,
licking and lapping.
we're here on earth, and this is, God is trying to see. He gives us free will. Now, if you want to walk closer to God, that's on you. If you want to keep going towards demonic agenda, that's on you as well. But we're supposed to be walking closer to God. So pushing homosexuality.
It's so much that being pushed in this world. I'm just saying, it's so much that's being pushed in this world. Chicken wings, eating fried fish, eating fried shrimp.
Should we be pushing it?
But they push it all the time. I see the average person
but
is.
That doesn't make it right. It doesn't make it right. It doesn't
but
make it
ma'am,
right.
when I'm telling you if you understand that, but why are you so just giving the gay topic so much publicity when it's a lot of people that's seeing?
No, I talked about everything. I talked about cursing.
But my thing is this: you talk to your friends, but today, when you leave this conversation, you need to tell your friends, "Well, I talked to a person that be with men sometimes. He say that he feel like it's wrong sometimes, but it still feel good." So you go and tell your friends that you talked to somebody that told you that sometimes it does feel
wrong.
Listen, I'm not disagreeing with you. According to what I've read, I'm a believer of the scripture, and I agree with you on that. But thank you so much, sister, for calling in.
It's wrong to curse. It's wrong to cheat. It's wrong to commit adultery. It's wrong to be gay. We are not supposed to be pushing any of that. We are not supposed to be pushing it.
All right. Well, thank you so very much for calling in.
Have a good night.
Bye-bye. This was a deep conversation. And I'm just as calm. All right. 9578.
Hey, Wiley.
Hey.
I just wanted to say that, we all fall short every day. And when God created us, he knew exactly what journey and path we were going to take. And I think everybody has a right to love whom they want to love, and that there should be no judgment. God is the only person that can judge us. So we just need to continue to support each other. Everybody was not made to be alike. We are unique, and God made us all different. So, but you did a great job today on your review on Real House of Potomac. Keep taking your notes. You did a great job, and thank you for having me on.
No, thank you. And the reason why we having this conversation, ma'am, because this is real. We're going to have this conversation.
It is very real. I have relatives. I have a child. It is a difficult life to live. No one wants to wake up and be persecuted every day of their life for living a choice that they are free to make. It is not right. We know what the Bible says. But again, God created us knowing that we were going to be born in sin.
Right. How can and my thing is this: do you know how many lives that were lost of people committed suicide because they thought their life wasn't worth it? All they hear, so my thing is this: we got to have a serious conversation, and we're going to have to sit around at the table and talk about this, because we have
to have a safe place for people who feel that they don't have anyone that is going to love them and support them unconditionally. It is not our place to pass judgment on people and how they decide to live their life. You can choose to be around who you want to be if you don't agree with their lifestyle. But if the person to the core of them is a good person, then who they sleep with is not your business, and what they do inside their bedroom is not your business.
I'm just waiting on somebody to tell me I want to hear from. This is two things I want to hear from somebody that's really living, that was a stump down liquor and humping, and they're no longer that, where they're completely straight. They don't even have the thought of doing it. I want to speak to those people. If you're out there, email me at wileyshow@gmail.com and tell me, how did you change from one, attraction to another attraction? So let's have that conversation. I don't want to talk
it
to
starts
people.
with research, because it does. You don't wake up if people do their research and learn how it all gets started at conception. They'll have a better understanding. But people are so stuck in their mindset of what it looks like, and and back in the time when I was in school, it was so closeted. No one came out. I am happy for those people who come out now and live their life and live it freely as they choose to. It's not my place to judge them and how they want to live their life.
I understand that. Thank you so much for calling in, sister. This conversation is deep.
It is deep, but you keep your head up, and if you want to hump, you hump. You hump who you want to hump. That's not our business.
Okay.
Have a good night.
Okay. Have a good night. I'm gonna take these callers, but remind me, Deborah and moderators, to tell their story time. And this is true. 3788 caller, you on air.
Hey there, how are you?
I'm doing great.
I am so glad that I finally got to get through. Yeah, because I'm one of your new subscribers and everything. I came over from All About Tea.
Okay, yes.
So you probably know me, low key. I love you, Wiley.
Love you. Do you want to talk about the subject today?
Sure did. And I agree with your last caller. I have such an issue. I have an issue with people who have an issue with gay people. Now, I'm a straight woman. I just finished celebrating today my 23rd wedding anniversary.
Oh.
And I always think, where's my congratulations?
Congratulations. How many years? 20 some years?
23 years of marriage, yes.
Okay. Congratulations on that.
Yes. I appreciate you so much, Wiley. But yeah, the caller before this last one, it was really irritating me because I hear that story so much about what God wanted, what's in the Bible, that just drives me up the wall. I just really wish that people could take that biblical part out of it and just look at the LGBT community as human beings, as individuals, just human beings.
Yes, as humans, because for me personally, it hurt. And I'm not going to cry on this episode. I'm going to be strong to get through this topic, baby. But I could.
Okay.
But it was sad for me growing up in the church, hearing that you're going to hell. I was so frightened of that. I remember I told my uncle, who is a bishop, I told him at 13 years old, I said, I'm going to talk to you about this gay thing because I battle with it. Because it scared me. I was scared.
Yeah.
So, and I told him about it.
Not understanding.
And I never could get away from it. And the older I got, and then I was like, it ain't changed. I'm calling on Jesus. I'm spitting. I'm slobbing out of my mouth. I'm crying, weeping, shouting. But it was still there.
Yeah.
I mean, I know I'm not the only person that dealt with that. I'm just being 100. I was saying over the church, I'm delivering. I'm free. But leave outside. See my boy friend, or well, not really boyfriend. These are people that I'm just humping because, you meet again, you connect with a on the party line. You do what you do. It wasn't really a relationship, because that's another thing why I couldn't be successful in relationship, because I didn't believe in men should be in a relationship with a man. That's why I never really had a boyfriend. So, and I'm just being 100% real. I'm gonna tell this other story time. Which, anything else you want to share? Anything else you want to share?
Yeah, I do. Yeah, I looked at it like this. If it would hurt my heart if someone told me And my husband, we both agreed, because my husband, he believes the same thing that I do, that no one should judge anyone that seems different or doing something different. If someone told me that I could not love my husband for X, Y, and Z reason, that would crush me. So who the hell am I to tell someone else they can't love who they want to love or be with who they want to be with? We only get one life here on this planet, and we have to enjoy it to the fullest. And the fear that you just described, Tea with Monique, she talked about this a little bit the other night. She had Carlos King on her channel, and it was brought up about role models, looking up. And one of her panelists, who is a gay male, he said he didn't have anyone to look up to aspire to learn from, and the scariness that he went through. And that was something that had never crossed my mind, you know, as a straight female, or even for, say, my husband, a straight male. We had role models to look up to on what our behaviors should be. And if you were born back in a certain time, there weren't many examples of that because, again, it was in a closet. So that struggle, and you brought up your the reason for your bipolar, it damn sure could have triggered that because it was confusing for you, it was scary for you, and people miss that part. And I just wish they get a little bit more compassion in their heart. Stop judging, let God judge, because that's the only person who can. Absolutely. And I just enjoy you, and I been loving your commentary. I love all your producers, and I just appreciate everything that you bring to the table, Wiley.
Thank you so much for calling in. Okay, we got 2 callers left in here. Thank you. Y'all can call in. We can have a show. Like, I didn't think we were gonna get deep in this topic, but we're gonna get to story time. I just want to make sure I get the callers. Anonymous, you live on air.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi. I just.
You the same caller. 9867.
Hey, Wiley. I see that was your Wilet that called.
That was the Wilet that called it. I know her tone of her voice. She gonna have to send me an apology, and because her spirit just ain't right. Ain't nobody got time for you to be calling me the F word, the S word, bam, and you listen to the whole show.
Facts. I agree. Well, hello, Wiley. This is a voice from New York. Hey, chat. So I agree that with the conversation that's happening is so interesting. So, you know, I'm heterosexual, and I'm also Jamaican. And I know in Jamaican cultures and in our music, there's a lot of negative connotations against homosexuality. And that's because in certain parts of Jamaica, even back in the days, sodomy was something that we don't agree upon, right? And also raise it into the church. You know, they always speak about Sodom and Gomorrah, which is, everyone knows about that story, and how God came and inflicted so much pain because a lot of those individuals practice homosexuality. Now, I do have a cousin in my family who is gay, but she's a woman. And I think because she's a woman, we don't really care as much. I can only imagine if she was a guy, how my family will view her. Now, I personally don't care. And I would say I had to mature into not caring. Because, you know, when you grow around certain people and everyone thinks the same, it's like a group thing. And I had to reflect, why should I care what someone lay down with, right? Or who they lay down with, or what act they do, because no sin is greater than the next sin, right? The thing is, anyone who passed away cannot tell you where they went after they passed away, right? No one can say, hey, voice, I went to heaven, I went to hell. No one knows the uncertainty once they pass. It's a mystery, right? So, you know, all you can do is just do the best that you can. Now, I know you mentioned, now the church has a very big impact on, you know, homosexuality. And even certain countries, men are getting stoned, women are getting stoned, they go into jail. People in America have it pretty good if they're gay, right? You can't go into Saudi Arabia or those other strict countries like Pakistan, and be even certain parts of Africa and be openly gay, and even in Jamaica in certain parishes in Jamaica. With that said, Wally, it's interesting when you mention that you don't think that two men should be together, but yet you say you still want a wife, right? So do you not see yourself marrying a guy, or
I
are
never.
you trying to say?
I'm 100. I never even imagined that. Never crossed my mind. Never crossed my thought. That never, ever, ever, ever did it. And so I'm just really, having this conversation, and I can just tell you, man, this conversation is very complex. I don't have all the answers. I don't. I'm not even going to try to act like I do, because I don't. But I will tell you, from the church, from that environment, it caused a lot of damage. I can go back. It just caused a lot of damage. And I
But there's a
wish
lot of gay people in the church, though, even the pastors, right?
I-
And there's so many undercover gay people. The thing is, I'd rather someone live their truth and be gay than living a lie and pretend who they're not, right? Because
absolutely.
as a heterosexual woman, I don't want to be with a man who's having these urges and felt like he has to be with me as a beard. That's unacceptable, because then you're deceitful. I'd rather you just live your life and be okay with it. And guess what? There may be a woman out there who's okay with him living his life and living his truth, and then they're in a poly relationship. There's the, I mean, there's a lot of things happening right now as a traditional relationship, right? You have poly, you have alternative lifestyles. There's so many different things that's okay now, although it always existed from when, but now it's more to the forefront. I have never seen so many videos. I mean, didn't a side chick just release a tape on her boyfriend who just got married? So basically, a side chick was with her boyfriend, who was dating some other woman, and her and the guy was giving another guy head. Okay, the side chick got mad that guy got married and released the tapes to the wife, and the wife had no idea that her husband actually was giving head to men with his side chick, right? So it's kind of like he hid that part of him. And I'm tired, and I feel like it's happened mostly to Black men with the repression and them battling against themselves, because it's kind of like it's frowned upon, like how you say you're a man and you're doing all these acts that people believe doesn't represent manhood. And I don't understand. I personally will never experience that internal struggle, right? Because I'm not a guy and I'm not gay. But I can only imagine now you're in the church, and the church is speaking all these languages, but then so many people are doing so many things, right? Like they're not waiting for marriage to have sex. They're having kids out of wedlock. They're doing so many different things, that why should we care if this person decide to love who they love? It doesn't affect your money, right? And I'm sorry you experienced that, Wally, because that can cause mental health issues. Although bipolar is more or something where it's more like a hereditary type of thing. Like some people may have in their family, and then something can trigger. It can be very sad when you feel alone and you gotta hide who you are.
Right. So you're right. You're hitting the nail on the head. Thank you so much, Voice Junior, for calling back in.
No problem. And I hope you get someone who decided to not be gay anymore. I don't think you can grow out and not be gay. Like Andrew Caldwell on Delivered. I think people.
Well, that's just a character for him. But yeah, I'm talking about those that actually live it, not a character. But yeah, thank you so much for calling in.
No problem. Have a great night, Wiley.
All right,
Bye.
you too. Bye. So it was this is a true story. I remember, being intimate with this guy. We were very intimate. I was in the act. I was the top. We're in the act. And in my mind, I was like, oh, this is wrong. This is wrong. I shouldn't be doing this. It's a sin to hump a man. So I really got on soft, because I kept having a thought, it's a sin. I kept saying it. I said, you gotta go, you gotta. The guy thought I was crazy, but I was really having that battle, in my mind, that it's a sin, and I'm just in the act, boom, 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 and it's just it's a sin. I should be doing it. It's a sin. The voices are also saying you should be doing blah, 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 blah. I just got all soft, and I'm just like, whoa. I'm like, what the world is going on? So so it was that way, and I was like, what in the world's going on? But I'm telling you all, those type of messages do cause damage because it caused it for me. I could talk for me personally. It did. It caused a lot of damage. It really did. Now I was intimate with women, but I liked both. When I was intimate, I'm like, oh, this feel good. This is an incredible experience. This is a great experience. But I knew I don't care how amazing I would be with a woman. I still had an attractive with a man. It never was erased. I just like both. You know what I'm saying? So I would never get on here and say, well, it's all the way on free. No, because I will be lying. I've done that for years in the church. I've been saying it. I'm free. I'm delivered. And I've given you stories of just humping and just doing it just crazy. I have a former best, I always say former best friend because he living a life that he got married with a woman, couldn't really be intimate with her. And I want to share this. I'm not going to share his name. I remember his grandmother told my uncle, which was a pastor, and she was like, Bishop, I don't understand why my grandson don't like to sleep in the same bed with his woman and all that. They don't, what's the problem? He just want to sleep on the floor. And so he had to leave her. He couldn't really be intimate with her. This is what I heard. I couldn't really be into her. So he dumped her and he got another woman and he got her pregnant. But anyway, what I'm trying to say is he trying to hide it and suppressed it and suppressing. He just going around. When you see him, you wouldn't even know it. Some would know it. And you'll be like, oh, he not that way. And he just preaching, looking good, very attractive guy in a relationship. And he like guys. And not only that, he like, he assaulted my sister. He like, unfortunately, I can go into really details about that, but that'd be like a whole nother situation. But yeah, you really have to live in your truth. And my type of standard when I try to live by is whether it's right or wrong in this, you would rather just come out better living in your truth, living in your truth versus you suppressing it and pretending to be something you're not and be miserable, because you're going to be miserable. And I've talked to people that in relationships, married, pastor. I had a whole intimate relationship with a pastor, and his wife was a singer. She was out singing, and he played a tape of him preaching. Now he was preaching against homosexuality. He played it, then he put in another tape of pornography on man on top of man. Now, mind you, it was two preachers in there. One of the preachers, he went with his man, and then this preacher, I slept in the bed where his wife sleep in. And we was doing our stuff, and I was about 18, 19 years old. He's a preacher. I'm in the same bed that his wife and him are intimate in, and I think his child was in another room. I know he had a son, was in a whole nother room. So this stuff is real. I experienced a lot in my life. And then that happened, and I'm gonna just tell you how freaky I was. The other preacher that was there, he was getting his sermon together. The other preacher left, he took his son, I guess, to school or whatever. So another preacher, gosh, I shouldn't tell this story, but I'm gonna tell it. The other preacher, he was getting his sermon together, and he told me, get on your knees and suck my wet, He said, get on your knees and suck. And I did exactly that. Because I liked him more than the other man I was in the bed with, because I liked him more because he had a body. He's in the military. He had a body and everything. And that really, really turns me on. To this day, that still turns me on. He had a body. And so he said, get on your knees. And I did exactly that. Why he was writing his sermon, getting his sermon together. So, we can just, if we really want to talk about it, let's talk about it. You know what I'm saying? And he had a body, and he's very attractive. That's like one of my weaknesses. When you got a body and you attract, you got a body, you attract, you masculine. So I shouldn't have shared that story, but I shared it. Hold on 1 second. We're gonna this is let me see if there's any other callers. Go ahead, Wiley, just nasty. Okay, we ain't got no callers. All right. Thank y'all. So but yeah, we anybody else call in, we'll just drop it there. So hold on 1 second. Let me get my other camera. This is so good. I'm coming from camera to camera to camera. We'll get this together. But yeah, that's what it was. And this particular guy, and I'm just speaking my truth here. He was a preacher, and this thing, I met him, and I can't say his name. If I say his name, y'all gonna Google him, y'all gonna Facebook him, and it's gonna be a whole mess. Because he, but I found him on Facebook. And he's very attractive and everything. And I found him on Facebook. He said, we was Facebook friends. He said, you want me? And I was like, yes, blah, blah, blah. He picked me up from when he finally came back to the States or whatever. Was very intimate. He was the first guy, not the only guy, but he was the first one. That's when I let a man top me. He was the first man to top me. And he had a body. And that at the moment, I didn't know how to clean myself. So I just got a 50-cent juice bottle. I don't know if y'all know what that is. A 50-cent juice bottle. In the hood, they have these juices. And back in the day, it cost 50 cents. And I pulled out all the juice. And I put nothing but water. And I squirted it up my behind to get cleaned up for him, to prepare for him. Or what, I didn't know what it was. So he came over and never forget it. He and he was the first one that I let top me, that and everything. I was in love. I thought I was in love. Oh my gosh. So oh, that man, I was so in love. I wish I had my cousin take to sit beside me to tell a story. Like, to really, I was so in love. And so he was an amazing kisser, and he had a nice body. It was amazing. So, and then eventually, once I've gotten older, like once I got into my 20s and I saw him again, he had a body no more. Then I started comparing my peen to his peen, and I noticed that mine were bigger than his. But when I was 18, I thought he was everything. But then he just started deteriorating. Then I don't know if it was the drugs, I don't know what it was, but he wasn't the same person that I met, that I was so obsessed, or I was obsessed about him. I didn't care. I stayed with my cousin Tank. Y'all know who Tank is. If y'all don't, we'll talk about that another day. He would come over. He would bring his other boyfriends over. I didn't care. It's just as long as if he was in my presence, anything he need, if he needed money, if he needed gas money, I'll work a double to make sure he have it. I was so sprung over him. Everything. If I see him in a club, I want to dance. I was just anything he needed. If he would have told me to go in the bank and just rob the bank, I would have did. I was just that obsessed with him, And I got older. I got out of. That's why I don't judge, women that's obsessed with these men and all that type of when they obsessed, when they demonize. I don't judge them, because I know you have your phases, because I have my phases. I was whipped. So once he had it, I just wanted him, and I just want him only. That's all I wanted. Like, I could feel him. I could just remember the way he smelled. I just wanted him only and only, only. And then I found out once I started to deal with his new boyfriend, I found out he said my sex was whack, because I didn't know all the position to get real nasty. I was new, but anyhow, that's a whole nother story. That's a whole nother story that I get into. Y'all get all in my personal life. Look how we just got all like that. But we were talking about it, and I would go to church. Since we talking about it, out of doing all of that experience, I would go and direct a choir. And at this time, I started to live with my cousin Tank. And I've been staying with him for over 10. Now, he's not really my cousin, he's my friend. Started to live with him. And then it was a problem because everybody will definitely know when Wiley in church and when he's not in church. Let me give you an example. So on my Facebook, when I'm in a church, when I think I'm delivered, I'm posting all these scriptures. Oh, the Lord is so good. God bless you. How y'all doing? I would tell my cousin, he would go to the club. I say, you need to stop going to the club. I will wear my little bow tie. I was really in the church, but I was with him. And I would get on the altar and I thought I would say, the Lord is so good. But then when I getting peen or giving out peen, I'm back cussing. I'm back. You know, they said, oh, he must be out of the church now. He must be out of the church. He said, yeah, he out of the church. Then and this is another thing about my YouTube career. We're talking before I open up these phone lines. My YouTube career. I had a YouTube channel before this with subscribers and videos. But my uncle, who is my bishop, he said, delete them videos. That's against God. That's the devil. That ain't that. Yeah, you need to delete them videos. You ain't going to heaven like that. They're going to be in a lake of fire. So I would delete all my videos, all my hard work, all the videos that I did with my cousin, all the interviews that I did with people in the ballroom scene, and the house scene, and in the house, and I would interview them when I was like in my early 20s. All them videos are gone because I deleted all of them because the church, my uncle told, he's the bishop, he said, delete those videos. It's against God. Don't have those videos. So I would delete it, right? And so I'm like, anything when some go good, I'll be like, is this really for me? Because, everything's supposed to be so bad because I'm not in the church. I could just go on and on and on and on and on. I could go on and on. But I know it's somebody that went through similar situations that I went through. Yeah. So I'm just saying, similar situation that I went through, I would do it. And I'm really, really telling you, I've seen ministers that was DL and stuff like that. So we have to hear this stuff. So give me a second. I'm gonna see if we got any callers, because I could talk some more. And we dropped our Cash App. Y'all want all these juicy story times. All right, let me see these callers. We got 2 callers in queue. Anonymous, you live on the air.
Hey, Wiley.
Hey.
Hey, what? Okay. So I'm calling now because you said that I'm trying to talk a little louder now.
Oh, okay. What do you want to say, ma'am?
Yeah. So I was going to talk about Lil Nas, but it's just away from me now. But
okay.
As far as what you just said, I just want to know, does it hurt, like what you were saying that you experienced?
You said, does it hurt? My experience?
Yeah, when you just told your story about
it hurts. Oh, it hurts. Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. She asked me a question, does it hurt? It's very painful. Very, very painful. If anybody asks me what is one of your struggles, it will be that. What I'm talking about now is one of my big, and I have not overcame it. I still struggle with that. Just today, I was like, man, I need to go to church. I need to get into the word. I need to go to church. I'm still on a journey, sister, of trying to change. I'm still that 13-year-old boy that hearing his uncle, which is a pastor, saying you're on your way to hell. I still on that journey trying to be free.
I feel you. Because I know a lot of people who do it. I have never tried that before.
Okay.
Especially in the butt, in the derriere, but I hear some people say it doesn't hurt, but as far as you saying,
you talk about getting in the butt and all that. Oh, that hurts. That hurts too. Oh, absolutely. I don't do that anymore because that's painful. If that's what that's pain. I answer that question. I don't know if you trolling or not, or you have a condition, but that
I'm not.
not.
But okay, I understand that. But that do her. I don't do that. No, it's been a long time since I let something up there because that's very painful. Because I just know how I just be putting it in that work. So just having somebody ram me like I be ramming, no, that is painful. Or no. That's painful.
Yeah. And I do want to say that, most people who are in the church, a lot of them are down low. I know it.
Oh, absolutely.
A lot of them.
And I agree with you. A lot of them are down low. They would take it to their grave of what they're going through and everything like that. Yeah.
Instead of just living in your truth.
Absolutely.
You just do it down low. So I forgot what I was going to say about Lil Nas X because you always hang up on me. So.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Okay, you have a condition where I just had a hard time hearing you and stuff like that. But yeah.
No, I don't have a condition. I just want to talk low because people in my house be asleep.
Oh, your people in your house is asleep. Okay, you don't want to wake your people up. I understand. But what did you want to say about Lil Nas X? If you could.
I forgot.
Oh, you forgot. Well, write it on a piece of paper next time. Write on a piece of paper so you can remember.
Yeah, about it.
Oh, okay.
You have a great night.
All right, you too. Have a good night. All right. All right. Okay. Anonymous, you live on air.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi. Okay, yes. I have a comment about Lil Nas X.
Okay.
And this is my comment. Is not, he needs to understand that we don't have an issue. We the people don't have an issue with him being gay. It's the sexuality, just like I've been saying about the women. Do not force nudity on our TV streams. Lil Nas X, that video, just like the WAP video that I've been trying to get taken down for the past 3 months, that video should not be on YouTube because it violates the policy. Nobody has an issue with you being gay, Lil Nas X. We don't like the nudity on our screens in primetime TV. And you also, and another issue is Lil Nas X, you pander to the children. That's the problem. The problem is not you being a gay man. It's you using that as an excuse, to dance naked on TV. Why is that video up? I've been saying they put this mess, this rated X, this rated X video in our face, just like the WAP video, and the Hands on My Knees by Meg Thee Stallion. Those videos should be on BET After Dark. It's not something that I should be able to type in on YouTube. That's the problem. So he needs to understand that we don't have an issue with him being gay because we don't have.
Can I ask you a question? Can I ask you a question?
Yes.
Did you watch those videos? I'm assuming that you went on those channels and you watched those videos, correct?
No. It comes up, like I said, about, see, and this is why you gotta listen to me, Wiley. I call to your show all the time. I tell you that it's all over the news feed on the internet. Lil Nas X should not be on Fox News. He should not be on CNN. He should not be a topic when I'm trying to get the weather for today.
Ma'am, you're not. You do know you don't live in 1960 anymore. We're in 2021.
See, and Wiley, you're just being very rude. It's not about living in the 1960s. That's the problem. We need to go back to the 1960s when TV was respectable, when people was respectable, when we kept our private parts in private, and we could not see them on TV. This is a young man. I don't care who he sleeps with. He is a young man, and he panders to the children. And then he had the audacity to have these kids thinking, oh, it's okay to be in prison doing this stuff. Lil Nas X, the question is, what is the message you're trying to send out? That's the question. That's what he should answer. Instead of saying that people have a problem with him because he's gay. No, just like with Meg Thee Stallion and Cardi B. Nobody has an issue with y'all The issue is you are doing this on prime TV. And if you're going to be, and my issue is, Wiley, with this whole thing, if you're going to be naked on TV, give a disclaimer. So parents, kids watch Lil Nas X, and kids watch Meg Thee Stallion. No kid should ever watch Cardi B because we know where she came from. She came from X-rated. So kids watch Lil Nas X, and he should give a disclaimer because that little young boy who is sitting there watching that video is going to see this, and he's going to be like, Mom, what is this? And just imagine me having to explain this to my child. Something that I should not have to do because he came pandering to the children. And that's the problem. They're trying to cope up the children with this music. And now it's not only the music now, every music video, every music song has a video. So now it's the images. They put these images out there for everybody to see. And that's the problem. That's the problem with Lil Nas X. And every time, and then the audacity of him to put out a video like that and get mad at the response, when in reality, I think he wants the response. So how do you get mad at people for responding exactly how you want them to respond? And then gonna call these people homophobic. They're not homophobic. They just don't want to see a naked man on TV at 11 a.m. in the morning when they're strolling down to get their weather on the news. Lil Nas X should not be on my news channel. And I have an issue with the news networks too, because why are we talking about Lil Nas X when I just want to know the weather for today?
Can I ask you that question? That is simple.
Yes.
Money.
Mm-hmm.
Money and ratings. Money and ratings.
And let me tell you something. Money and ratings. The thing is, when we the people, when we die, we cannot take $1 with us, and those ratings go right in the ground with us. We cannot take money with us. These people are selling. They're sold for $1. And Lil Nas X is here to lead the people astray. And I'm trying to lead them the right way. Get the naked men and women off of primetime TV. If you're going to be naked, Lil Nas X and Meg Thee Stallion and Cardi B, give us a disclaimer so we can send our children to the next room or turn that garbage off. That's all I'm saying. Right. Put up a disclaimer because they're going to start getting lawsuits from parents. I'm telling you that right now.
All right. Well, we thank you so very much for calling in.
Okay. And I just needed to let your audience know. Turn the TV off.
Okay.
These people come on.
All right. Thank you so very much. Okay. Bye-bye. Yeah. All right. That was none other than Sister Conservative. She said what she said. And I hear it. And she makes some points, some points that some people will agree with. I don't know why the video wasn't for 18 and up. I don't know why. They did blur it out. So maybe they had a conversation with Google and they had an agreement that the video can be up if you censor it by blurring it out. You know, I don't know. But again, we are in the business of ratings. We're in the business of money. And if you want to see more platforms clean cut, if you want to see platforms that are, holy or religious, you need to create those platforms. But unfortunately, this is the world that we live in. Parents got to do it. You're in a different time. Parenting in the 1960s is totally different parenting now because you have devices. You have an iPhone, you have an Android, you have Google, you have YouTube, you have TikTok. So my 4-year-old niece have, she can watch so much stuff that when I was 4, I wasn't watching. I wasn't introduced with it, but it's everywhere. Because when I went home, little story here, she taught me how to operate and work TikTok. I didn't know anything about TikTok. I didn't know how to operate TikTok. So she said, Uncle, I could teach you TikTok. She knew how to do the TikTok stuff better than me. And I'm 30 years old. So we're in a different time. But I do agree, if we can leave this conversation, I do agree that YouTube should have made it 18 and up, but everybody have seen it because it went on CNN and everywhere else. So, and I think they had those same images up. But let's go to the phone lines. 3447.
Hello.
Hey, you live on the Wiley Show.
Hi. Okay, so this is my first time calling into a show ever on YouTube.
Thank you.
I just don't understand why people act like they can't control what they watch. Like, there is an app called YouTube Kids that they could get on their kids' phones where they don't have to see anything provocative or anything like that. You can download those apps so that you can monitor what your kids see. Like, there is a way to control that. And as far as like the weather, she's saying that the last caller saying that things were popping up on her phone about Lil Nas X, just the weather app. Like, why are people acting like that, oh my God, I'm just being bombarded with all this stuff, so you can control that. Get those apps that you need so that you don't have to see it. Like, I don't understand why people act like they can't control what they watch. And like I have 6 kids, well, 7. And my kids don't know anything about Lil Nas X. They don't know about half of these musicians at all. Like, they just watch little kids stuff on their phone. They have a kid app. They watch the YouTube app. They play the little games and stuff like that. They don't even know half of the rap songs or any of that. And I just don't understand why people are being lazy parents and expecting these celebrities to raise their kids. I don't understand why it's so hard for them to monitor their kids' phones and devices. Like, why is that so hard? Take it off of their phone. I mean, like, what? I would really like to know the answer to that. Why do people feel like they're so helpless, like they can't control what their kids watch? And why do they expect these people to raise their kids? They make that kind of music for adults. It's not for kids in the first place. So why are you getting upset about, oh, our kids can see this? They shouldn't be seeing it. You're the parent. You can do something about it. Don't allow them to watch it. They do know that they have a choice, right? Like, if they could tell their kids, don't watch this. They can put different monitors on their phone. Like, why are they acting so helpless? And that's all I have to say, Wiley.
I hear you. I don't know if she called back in to respond to you. Is this the caller that called anonymous? You live on air? Okay, yeah. So 3447. So thank you for that. But you do have those parental apps. You do have it do exist, but that's all comes with the parent. It comes with the parent. That comes with the parent.
That's your job as a parent, to raise your kids. You're supposed to enforce certain things. You're supposed to keep it where they can't be exposed to certain things. Like, you can't control that. Like, you're a parent. Like, I don't understand why they acting so helpless, like they can't take certain things off their phone. Get their device, get your kid's device, take the regular YouTube app off, put the YouTube Kids app on there, and all they'll see is kids stuff on there. They can block certain apps on their kids' phones. Like, there's different things they could do. Like, this is not like 50 years ago where literally everything you watch on TV, like, you couldn't control it. You can literally control what is on your kids' phone. You can control what they see. Like, you can't control what, your kids are exposed to as far as other kids, like when they go to school and things like that. But as far as like when they have their own personal devices, you as the parent are supposed to monitor that. I just think a lot of parents are lazy and trying to push their child being raised off onto other people. That's their job, to make sure that their child isn't exposed to that.
All right. Thank you so very much for calling in.
Thank you.
Wow. We had a good conversation today. I did not think we were going to talk about it like how we talked about it on here. Y'all truly believe y'all can control Google and the media. The same thing they do to school teachers, because parents give the kids devices to have them not bother them. Yeah, that's another point too. You got to know where your children are watching. I don't think a child 3, 4, 5 years old should have phones, but that's up to that parent. I can't tell a parent what their child should they have a device. Now, I understand if your child is at school and you want to make sure they get home safe and to communicate with you, I understand that. But why do a 4-year-old have a cell phone? that's working. But some parents say they will give their child cell phone at 4 or 5, but that's that parent decision. But I do know it's YouTube Kids, and I do know it's different apps you can have to monitor where your child is watching or what your child should not be watching or be not be able to get on. So that caller is definitely right about that. She brought us some good valid points. All right. Thank you all so very much. This is a 2 hour live. We was not expecting this live to be this way. I want to say shout out to the producers. You guys, we did it today. This was
Thank
one
you
of the
for
best
using
lives that
Blog
we did
Talk
in a long
Radio.
time.
Goodbye.
Want to say thank you so very much. This was lit. This was a great show. It really was. I want to say thank you to the producers. We really talked about it, and it was a good, awesome show. But I want to tell you, I remembered, that's what you have to watch what your kids were doing because. Oh, I'm sorry. Sorry, yeah, I clicked on something. Yeah, I remember this. I said you have to watch your church because when I was in about I think I was in 8th grade. I told this story before. I had found out the party line, and I was on the party line. Now, mind you, I'm in 8th grade, and I was on there on the party line. Got these guys on the party line. Grown men would come to my grandmother's house, and he was like, and I didn't know what to do. I didn't know what to do. Why I didn't know anything about oral or nothing. So he was telling me what to do and stuff like that. Now, mind you, and then he asked me, he said, what grade you in? I'm like, I'm in 8th grade, and we doing what we had to do. Now, mind you, it took me maybe a month or two ago when I told that story. I'm like, oh my gosh, that was a predator. That was a predator. Where were I on this party, or was it the party line or the chat line? You know what they call it. I was on there, the 1-800 numbers, and disguised my voice as a female, like feminine and all that. And they saw me, and I was like, he asked, he's like, what grade you in? I'm like, I'm in 8th grade. So you have to be cautious of what your children are exposed to. And I found out, from one of my friends in elementary school told me about the number, and we got on the number before, and I said I want to do the number again because everybody kept saying you sound like a girl, you sound like a girl, you sound like your mom, you sound like your mom. And many days I used to get out of trouble because I knew how to talk like my mom and speak just like her, and get out of trouble. And the teacher didn't even know they were talking to me the whole time. I knew how to disguise my voice. So we what was say? Yeah, we did it, and he was like, "What grade you in?" And it's not just TV. I'm in 8th grade, and my grandmother was at church. My mom, it was the weekend, so you already know she getting drunk on the weekend. I'm just being honest. Grandma at church, and I knew at our church, you're gonna be at church for hours. It ain't no church service. You in there for 45 minutes. Like my uncle was very long winded. I knew exactly what time my grandma's gonna come. She's gonna get home about midnight or 1 o'clock. That's how long our church services was. So, and I was doing all types. I didn't know what it was. Like these were grown men. I ain't know not, on the party line. Yeah. I was a problem, baby. I'm telling you all, that's what I'm saying. You watch your children. And I remember one time, and I told this story before, that I got on the chat box party line or whatever, and it was this white man, and I think I was in high school when this happened. He was like, "No, just get in the car, just get in the car," and so told me, "Don't get in the car." And I just ran, like literally, it was on 63rd and Ashland. Anybody in Chicago know this? It's a McDonald's that is still there today. And 6:30 Ash, it's in the middle of the night. I walk from my grandma's house. My grandmother's knocked out. I leave my grandmother's house, walked on 6:30 Ash, like literally walking on 6:30 Ash. He was like, just get in the car or whatever. And I said, some told me don't get in the car. And boom, I just ran back home. I was so nervous. And if I would have got in the car, I don't think that my grandmother would ever say that I would have been kidnapped. They would have probably never seen me before. Or they probably was like, where you at? Yeah. Yeah, I was on 63rd and Ashley. Come on. So I could have been abducted, and hooked on drugs or whatever. And they would come from and he had a nice car. They would come from these nice neighborhoods and come to the hood and prey on gay guys, these kids, teenagers. So I could just go on and on and on. So that's why I said you got to be careful uh, of what your kids are doing and who they're around, and check their kids' phone. Yeah, I was on 63rd and Ashland and stuff like that. So, yeah, thank God I didn't get in that car, but some told me, don't get in the car. I had a praying grandmother. Okay. But my grandma was a praying grandmother, but she could sleep. She be knocked out in many days that are going. And so, yeah, and I'm gonna just keep talking. I'm gonna just keep talking. I want to talk to y'all. Can I talk a little bit more? So I remember now. This is when I got older. I was an adult. I think I was 18 or 19, and I lived with my grandma. I was still staying with my grandmother. And one mistake my grandmother made is when she thought that she was gonna get her house was gonna get foreclosed. She said, Marquise, read these documents, and we thought that she was gonna lose her house. So she decided to get an apartment with my name on the lease and with her name on the lease. That was my first apartment ever when me and my grandma was on the lease. But my grandmother never moved to that apartment. Man, and it was a nice apartment. She had a bed in there. She had a couch in there. She had everything. So for me, when I met the guy, the army person, the one that first taught me, we did it in that apartment, and it was nice. So I would get on the train. I was like, "Oh, grandma, I ain't gonna be doing that. I'm gonna go to the apartment." And then I think it was that sectional couch, the big wide sectional couch, and we was on the couch, and I was doing all type of stuff, man. I met another dude. He had just graduated, and that's when Nicki Minaj album. I do remember this, that when Nicki Minaj album Pink Friday came out, and I went to go get Pink Friday, and we were doing all type of stuff in that apartment. Baby, we got it in. That bed, we didn't even have to go to the bed because all that type of stuff. So yeah, I was getting in. I was so happy. And then after she I was a I was a barb. I was a barb, I was in a plane with a way. Okay. And anyway, I was a barb, all the stuff. Nicki Minaj, she came on to see her debut album. So we was doing it. I'm sucking pee, smoking weed, condoms breaking. It just smelled nothing like just sex and everything. And then that was like my experience. And then it was a girl by the name of, I'm not gonna say her name, but she was in the church. She had big breasts. She was in a church. She was in her 20s, and she was trying to get back in school. So at that time, I was at Westwood College. I think I was at Westwood College or ITT Tech, but I was in college too, trying to get my Bachelor of Criminal Justice. So she was like, "Can you help me?" So I was helping her study, and then I felt the vibe. Me and her felt the vibes, and I knew that she wanted to have sex with me. I knew that, and I wanted to, and I was attracted to her. And this was the first woman ever. And so we sat down, and we was listening to some music. She got quiet, and I made the first move. We started kissing and blah, blah, blah. And then she started riding, and it was just amazing. It was everything. And I didn't know, I was inexperienced with women. So anything that I thought, like kissing on the neck or whatever, I made it do. And it just felt so great. And then gospel music was playing in the back, because I'm like, what else can we listen to? I'm inexperienced with a woman. So I just said, you in the church, I'm in the church. Let's have some gospel music playing in the back. So I had a little gospel music just in the back. Jesus can't work it out. And she just ratted me. Jesus can't work it out. Just, I had gospel music in there, and it was amazing. So and it was like, oh my gosh, it was everything. And I thought, like, God, like this is how this feel. You know what I'm saying? I said, is this real? Like the feeling was just, it was amazing. It was so amazing. Okay. It was everything. It was everything. And the thing that scared me with women, let me tell you, the thing that's, and I'm gonna have to put this in a whole nother video. The thing that scared me with women is when she called me, I'll never forget it. Mm, oh, hey, Marquise. My period didn't come, and I didn't know what that mean. Like, what do you mean? Talking about your period didn't come? I think I'm pregnant. And I said, you said what? I think I'm pregnant. I said, oh my God. And I cried. I bawled like I was so hurt. I cried because I didn't know what to do. I didn't know what, so I got on the phone with my mom. I said, oh my God, she said, her period didn't come. Oh, look, she said she's pregnant. I don't know what to do. What did I do? What did I do? I can't be having no kids. I can't be having no kids or something like that. I'm too young. I'm in college. What can I do? I ain't got no job. I'm broke. I ain't got nothing. I'm just crying. It's a hot mess. I was inexperienced. I didn't know. So then she called me. She called the next day. You know, my mom told me she just probably late. I was like, okay, mom. And I just cried and cried all day. I just cried. And it looked like I just saw babies everywhere. Like when I was on the bus, babies, I was like, oh my gosh, how can I do this? And gotta have my baby on the bus. Like, oh my God, I ain't got no car. They gotta have a stroller on the bus. Then I gotta be one of them passengers. You know, when you're on the bus and you have, you know, you got the baby in the stroller, that's the most thing I used to hate because they used to have to break down the stroller. We couldn't move until they sat down. And then that's when it's crowded. And then they think they could just put the baby in a handicap spot. But no, you gotta break the stroller down, sit down. You just can't take up the whole space. And I was like, oh, I gotta do this. And I'm just crying. So then she called me the next day. Oh, hey, Marquise. My period came. I just let you know I'm not pregnant. I said, you blankly blank. You had, and I cussed her out. I'm not gonna say what I said because I can get canceled. I'm not gonna say that, I ain't gonna say, but I cussed her out. Cuss her out. But yeah, it's just like, man, felt amazing. Like it was amazing. Then the second time I did it, she had like it was boring. Like she got lazy. She had more kids, and it wasn't like the first time. The first time was just everything. The chemistry was just there. And the second time, she had gained more weight, and I just went into it. I'm like, oh, child, let me go. The kids, like, and then she had the kids. You know what I'm saying? It's hard. Like when you had kids and they want to bang on the door, and I couldn't keep focused. She was like, no, skip that. Don't worry about that. Just come on. I said, I can't do this. And I said, listen. I can't do this. It ain't working. It ain't coming up like you wait till we get like a Motel 6. And that's all I thought. Like we get a Motel 6 when you got a babysitter, when your baby daddies can come pick up your kids, but I can't do this. So I left, and that was it. That was it for her, That was it for her. I just couldn't do that. I wasn't like ratchet. I wasn't like, no, I told my guy, man, skip that. You know what I'm saying? You should have still hit that. You should have. I said, no, man, I couldn't do that. Like, I like the vibe, I like privacy. I don't think that you should just be humping and kids banging on the door, crying, talking about they hungry and all that. Not me. Absolutely not. I wasn't that type of brother. I had some type of dignity, and she should have had that type of dignity. Anywho, but I had with other women, and it was amazing. You know what I'm saying? So I still don't think I'm that experienced like I am with men, because I'm not a whore with women, because I respect women better than men. So I take my time, but I don't just hump as any women I see. It's real special. You got to be real special. I got to build a connection with you for me to just just to make it better. Because I'm very particular of what I like when it comes to women. Anyway, I just had to share that story. That was one of my scary moments that I was gonna have kids and stuff like that. But yeah, that kept me away. And another thing, my mom too, it kept me away because at one point I didn't like my mom at all. Me and her didn't get along. When we get on the phone, we cussing each other out. And then I got distant. When she goes to the hospital, I didn't care. We just, and so I just like all women, it was like my mom. But once I started to talk to my mom and we started having a relationship, I started to appreciate women. I started to appreciate women more. So yeah. Mm-hmm. Okay. So yeah, but I am a freak. That ain't gonna change, I don't think. But yeah, I'm just having this conversation with y'all. I didn't think we was gonna be up this late talking like this. Oh, child. How old were I was with her, my first experience. I would say 19, 20 years old. I think I had to be 19 or 20 years old. Yeah. That was a time like once I started to get real active, really, really active. Yeah. And there was another one that I really, really wanted. Like I cleaned this woman whole house. Like I whatever she needed, I just really wanted to smash. So I clean your house, I'll do whatever. So I just wanted to be around her presence. So I would talk and I would clean up, I would run errands. And then one day it was a little opening where she said, "Come over, let's sit and chill. What you doing?" So we can sit and smoke. And I knew then that was a sign that we was gonna get it in. I knew that. I said, finally, I did all this work. I'm taking out your garbage, helping you grocery shop, listen to your boring ass stories, pretending like I'm interested in your personal life. And all I wanted to do was just smash. I just wanted to smash. I just know it was going to be everything. And I would ask, look, we would smoke every once in a while, but I would ask little comments like what you like to do and blah, blah, blah. Just ask a little comment. And I said, man, I just want to experience this. Like, please, please, just please give me the opportunities. Please give me the opportunity. So the opportunity came. So, man, that was wonderful. I'm gonna call her Thunder Thighs. That was one I said, please let the opportunity, just please let it come. Please, please let the opportunities come. And it came. And I said, yes. Woo. Absolutely. Okay. I finally got out of the friend zone because I'm a good friend. I could be a good friend, but I don't be like to get a friend zone, especially if you attract. This is what I want to. Oh, should I say this? Oh my God, I'm sweating because I turned L, so I won't be. But my nose won't be running. But it is so hard for me to be friends with women. I'm gonna be honest with you, especially if you're attractive. If no man, all in the back of your mind, you're gonna think, man, can I hit this? Like, can we smash or whatever? And I love being in the friend zone, but I don't want to always be in the friend zone. I'm gonna be honest with you. If you attract, for me, I'm speaking for me. I'm thinking for me, it's kind of hard. You know what I'm saying? Especially you talking about your bad relationships, this and this and this. And I'll be like, man, don't worry about that. I'll treat you good. Because in my mad, I'll be like, I'll treat you good or whatever. I won't do that to you and all that. And I'm, let me stop. Let me stop before I get in trouble. Let me stop. It's hard for me, Deborah. It's really hard. Now, if I'm just not attracted to you, it's kind of hard, especially if you're beautiful, because it's connection with a friendship and it's the opposite sex. That's all. That's listen. It's difficult. It's difficult. It's difficult. You have to have willpower, I would say. You have to have willpower. It's from maybe because I'm young and I'm a Scorpio, but it's difficult for me. You have to have that willpower to not. You know what I'm saying? Because I've seen people that been friends and they get into relationships and become a couple. I've seen that. So, but I don't know. Maybe you ask me that question 30 years later. What happened to the girlfriend that you meet? Did you ever meet up? I didn't meet up with her, and she just got her own apartment. I didn't meet up with her yet. I didn't meet up with her yet. We didn't get a connect, but we will. We will. Now she got her own apartment. So I'm definitely gonna be coming to that. Almost definitely. Almost definitely. That's and she hit me up today. So that's gonna happen. It's just when I touch down in Chicago, oh definitely. I already told my mom, I was like, listen, I'm not gonna be staying with y'all. I'm gonna get my own hotel room. That's when I want to be buck wild. So definitely. Almost definitely. Almost definitely. Because when I went to Chicago the last time, I was with family, seeing my nieces and nephews. When I go back again, oh yeah. Yeah, when friends are single, it's hard. Yeah, my lord, we definitely gonna do that. But anyway, I'm not gonna bring her on camera and stuff like that. Cause I respect women more than I do men, unfortunately. You would never probably see a woman that I smash on YouTube. You'll never see them come on YouTube. You probably will never hear a scandal because I'm so particular who I smash. You should do collabs with bigger YouTubers to blow up. Yeah, I should if they're willing to do it with us. But we had a good show today. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna blow up. It's gonna be on our own time, and we work with Monica, and she's a big YouTuber. We had Tasha K. We gonna blow up, you guys. I'm not gonna rush it. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna rush it. For us or growing up, I'm not gonna rush it. But I'm glad we having this conversation. If you call the male friend and say, hey, babe, can you come over to smash? She would not be a friend. I'm telling the truth. Deborah, I'm telling not one of my female friends, if they call me and say, let's smash, I'm smashing. Period, point blank. Period, point blank. Let's not get like let's not act like that ain't on this is that Deborah. You 100% will. You call your male friend that and say let's smash or whatever, they gonna come over and smash. Period. Period. Come on now. Let's not act. Oh, I would never do that. Yeah. All right. Okay. That's all I'm trying to, because it was one of my female friends, and she came over, and oh crap, should I tell a story? Let me see. Hold on. I'm telling y'all all these stories. Let me check my cash app. Y'all really trying me tonight. But anyway, oh, thank you. Okay, I can tell a story. Somebody cash at me, so I tell a story. All right. One of my female, when she was a coworker, and we started to build up a friendship. And so she came on my apartment, and we started to smoke. Now, mind you, she was a Mexican, and she said, I got some good stuff that really get you high because you smoking that BS. I'm gonna really get you high. So I'm like, okay, whatever, come through. And I always wanted to just, get it in with her because she's beautiful. She's from the hood, and we just vibe. You know what I'm saying? We go on lunch break together. We just really vibe. So I'm like, yeah, bring that. She said, can I come over and wash my clothes? Because at the place I was at, I had a wash machine. I'm sorry, I had a laundry room that you can wash the clothes and stuff like that in the complex. I said, yeah, bring that all over. And then she said, while the clothes were, we could smoke. I said, cool, come through. So she came over, we were smoking, and we were talking, we were smoking, and then the weed just started to hit. And my voice, she said, damn, why your voice getting deeper? Like, and I just started saying, yeah, so whatever. So like, what about us? And I started saying, I'll never forget. I was like, so what about us? Like, are we just gonna stay friends? Or what? Yeah, we just gonna stay friends. What you talking about? What you mean? You high, you tweaking. I said, it's whatever. So she started to get up and she started to dance. Now, mind you, she got on shorts because it's hot in Texas. It was summer. She started dancing, and so I get out there, I started dancing with her, and next one thing led to another. She was like, no, we friends. I don't want to mess up our friendship. I'm like, it's cool. She's like, I'm going to just leave or whatever. She had got her clothes to leave. And I was like, it's okay, we ain't going to do nothing. I'm like, okay. But I was so pissed. And we still cool to this day. And we laugh about that moment. She was like, you were so high. She was like, I wanted to smash, but I didn't want to mess up the friendship. I'm like, damn, fuck the friendship. Fuck the friendship. Fuck the motherfucking friendship. Fuck it. And I'm like, fuck the friendship, I'll be your enemy. So she was like, I don't want to mess with the friendship. You're just a good listener. I don't want to mess up our friendship. You know, you cool. I don't want to mess it up. And then so now we good. So man, but I was in my zone, man. Oh man, I was in my zone. She was thick too, like amazing. But it was some other moments. Like she's older than me. So she was talking about different rappers in the 80s and like the 90s and some stuff I didn't know. She was like, damn, I forgot that you 20 some years old. You don't be knowing this shit. So that was like I kind of like a turn off. So I remember I started just researching some 80s rappers and some 90s rappers, Tupac and Biggie, whatever it takes, because I'm gonna study. I'm gonna try to do it, whatever. So I said when we link up, and then she moved to Houston. So I said whenever we link, whenever she come back, I'm gonna be prepared this time. So when she bring up Biggie, I used to read Word Up magazine. Okay, when she bring up Tupac, dear mama or whatever, I'm do it this time. So soon as she come back and I got my own place now, definitely I'm gonna make sure the vibe is right. definitely, I'm gonna make sure we bring up some rappers. Okay, you got what I need. And he say he just a friend. And he say he just a friend. Oh baby, you got what I need. Oh baby, oh yes. Oh yes. I'm gonna make sure. Soon she says she coming to town, I'm gonna make sure I get number 80s and 90s rap. Definitely. Okay. Anyway, I was trying to make sure I get that. All right. Oh man, she definitely happened. Like, oh, I was this close, but it didn't happen. They said, "What are you planning?" I do plan on getting married. I do plan on getting married. I do plan on having children. Definitely, definitely, definitely. I just don't want to just try to date right now because I'm not where I'm supposed to be financially and spiritually. But I definitely do. Oh, most definitely, man. Most definitely, I do want to have children because every time I go home and I see my nieces and nephews, I'm like, man, and my sister's like, when you gonna have kids? And I feel kind of bad because I'm like I'm my mom only son that don't have no kids, and I'll be like, man, I do want to have some kids and stuff like that. So definitely, definitely. Wiley persistence is borderline scary. Will you be faithful in the marriage? LOL. Okay. Deborah, you asked me a question. I'm gonna be honest. I would like an open marriage, though. I would like an open marriage. I would like to have fun, open marriage. You, do I do me? We come back together, we be as one. I would like an open marriage, though. I want to try that. Like we go to parties together and all that. Anyway, let me not get deep into whatever it is. I could get on here, so no, I'll be faithful. I would like open marriage, though, because I like to have fun. If I see something that it's a vibe, it's a vibe. When you are going to leave? All right. Like Jada. Baby, it's gonna be an entanglement. Definitely, it's gonna be an entanglement. Oh, don't do that. Do anybody in here watch The Shy? Do anybody in here watch The Shy? So it's The Shy. Emmett is in an open relationship with his girl, and now he don't like it, but I do like to watch The Shy. And I was like, it was an episode in there that I would love to try with my woman if I ever get into that place. Oh yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna have open marriage. I'm gonna just say that right in there. But yeah, if you watch The Shy, definitely, it will definitely be an open marriage. Oh, y'all did it so Wiley. Future 500 kids. Like, if I was a whore, like with women, like I would have so many kids out here. But I respect women enough to not, I have willpower. You know what I'm saying, and stuff like that. I got to make sure that I do wear a condom because I don't want to be having all these random kids. Because another thing that kind of scared me was when I was seeing like my friends, they be getting on child support and these crazy baby mamas. And they were always telling me like, man, Wiley, you so lucky, man. You so lucky. You ain't got these crazy baby mamas coming up to the job. And one of my friends showed me his check, and I'm looking $125, $125. The man didn't make nothing. I'm like, what in the world is that? And it's child support, man. Child support, man. He ain't had nothing. And my check was looking good because I was getting overtime, and I didn't have no child support deduction until I got that payday loan, and I didn't pay that payday loan back, and they got me. But yeah, so that was just that was just the thing that I didn't get myself into. So I was kind of glad that I did not get myself in a mess. But I want to tell y'all, living life. Make sure y'all watch The Shot. That's my favorite show, man. That's my favorite show. Every time I watch it, I just miss Chicago. I really, really miss the city of Chicago. I miss it so much, man. I miss the city of Chicago so much. I miss my city. I miss home, but it's so bad. Texas do not feel like home. I still feel like a stranger here, honestly. Still feel like a stranger here. All right. Thank you. But it's dangerous in Chicago though. Yeah, it's dangerous. But I do miss home. I do. Cause Texas, man, please. Thank you, Monica. I never heard of it. Child support be rubbing people. It does. Well, thank y'all so very much. We have been on here for a long time. You said Houston might be more my style. Okay. Only thing that got me away from Houston, I'm gonna be honest, is when them floods happened in Houston, I said, woo, I can't do Houston. But they had like a flood in Houston. I don't know if it was in Houston. Was it a flood in Houston or some parts of it where it was flooding? I said, can't do that. Uh-uh. But I said, if it flood in Dallas, I'm packing my stuff up and I'm going right back to Chicago. Bullets and all. Okay. He said, please give us a morning show. All right. If I had something to talk about, I definitely would talk about it. Definitely. I don't know when it happened. I do remember that though. When it was flooded. It just like a couple of years back that happened. Cause I was working at a job. They was like, can y'all travel down there and help the CNAs? I'm like, nope. I'm not doing that. That's one thing I'm not doing. If I got to get in the swimming boat and get a help me sign, I'm going back to Chirac, Chi-Town, Bullet Central, whatever they want to call it. I'm going back to Chicago. Thank y'all so very much, man. This was a lit live. Yeah. They said Dallas can't handle the snow. Yeah. Y'all, Dallas can't handle the snow. Oh, man. Oh, my gosh. Man, I'm going to be here all day talking about stories, man. When we had that snowstorm in Dallas, I was so pissed. I was so pissed because I did not go to the grocery store and fill it, and then the lights kept flickering off. I'm like, what? I cussed everybody out. I cussed out my roommate. I cussed out everybody. I said, man, I wanted to cuss out the governor, but I ain't have no internet connection. My phone's out. I was so pissed. So pissed, man. Oh my gosh, man. That was crazy. Because in Chicago, I don't care what, I went through a blizzard and the lights was still on. I'm telling you, it was a couple of years, about 2015 or 16, whenever that blizzard happened in Chicago, and I couldn't see nothing. I still was able to walk to the gas station, give me some chocolate chip donuts, some chocolate honey bun donuts, and I was still able to give me some snacks. And I walked all the way back to 77 and Jeffrey to my cousin's house. I remember that. And the lights were still on. But Dallas, the lights, I'm like, what the word? And it's not even a major snowstorm. It wasn't, and these people, it was a hot mess. I couldn't even pay. I finally got to the grocery store. I couldn't even put in and apply for my card. The card wasn't even working because the machines were down. It was crazy. It was really, really crazy. I'm like, what the world going on? I'm like, it was, I should have recorded it and stuff like it was a mess. It was a hot mess. The panic buying it was real. At least it was panic buying because I was in there too getting some stuff. Yeah, I know they don't have the infrastructure, but they better get it. Child. I said, we ever get another one of those? I'm moving back to Chi-Town. Because Chi-Town, they don't have that problem at all. All right. Thank you all so very much for tuning in. Shout out to the producers. This was that. I want to give a special shout out to the moderators. Thank you all for y'all support. We've been on this live going on 3 hours. It was a good show, and we're gonna do a restream. Well, we'll break it up in segments and do the timestamps. Thank y'all so much, and we will see y'all later. Don't ask me no more questions because I'm gonna keep on staying on here with y'all. Thank y'all so very much. Oh my gosh. Make sure y'all follow me on Twitter at Wiley Show. Follow me on Instagram at Wiley Show. Thank you so very much. And yeah, good night, everybody. And I'll see y'all again. Peace.